scratch it one time?
Look, I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop. I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peace. You gon' see the flex when you hear these writtens. Trust me, you know the difference. I got a long ways to climb before you see a slippage. I see the process and the journey I'm supposed to be, but perplexed, cause I don't really see nobody close to me. Hopefully this ain't wasted and I know it ain't. You gotta take the time for seasoning to marinate. You need the patience and the pressure just to detonate. I'm trying to blow up and these heathens need to get it straight. Gifted with a vision and precision, I'm just trying to make it high key. Might be breaking free like I was Zion in some Nikes. Tucked at the crib, bro, you know just where to find me. Making beats and spitting crack verses pretty likely, yeah. Socks with the burst, boy, I ain't changed a bit. Normal guy till I die, you know what it is. You probably thought I'd give up now that I got some kids, but really nah, I got these arrows aiming at your ribs. I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop. I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peas. Hey, please be on the notice, these my motives. Bought my chicken and it's rotis. You parsimonious, you take it all cause you a locust. My focus is to grow this mission. A visionary, get a dictionary. We here off the rip and we ain't sharing, we just caring. Let me speak it to the manager. We damage her, no you ain't messing with an amateur. I'm ramming, the competition ain't standing up. They fanning from left to right cause now they branded us. Now who that is? Mike Jones, they ain't want me now, they all on me. Got counterfeits trying to play me, I guess they thinking I'm Sony. These big head dummies showing up and out of their character. Homie, you need a price cause without it the squad ain't hearing you. Top of that, we ain't fearing yet. We swinging for the fences with the sting of a left hook that connects with Sonny Liston. I'm dismissing any and all of the disrespect. Nonetheless, it ain't a threat, I'm just letting y'all know who's next. I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop. I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peas, you gon' see the...
I need all the wins, yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get it, no call it quits, yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets, yeah. Better move out the way cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all of this. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. My heart on my sleeve, stress, shield my greed. That's how I get it, success ain't no given. Some days I don't hit, I don't sleep. When I'm focused, I'm dangerous. They don't wanna when I'm anxious. Ain't no limit till I tank. I'm running on fumes. The opposition don't amaze. The roads racing through the pavement. Get your hands out of my bag. I know that's because I've been in it. I don't need the brag. I guess that's what happens when you taking care of your business. But some family, you do the math. I'm out of my pocket. Houston, we got a problem. I ain't perfect, let them watch me. Elevating, got them nauseous. Cause I'm the pilot in the cockpit. Nose diving in the house and whoo. Watch out, get ahead. Watch out, get ahead. Watch out, get ahead. Woo. Watch out, set it up. Bet you I shut it down. Watch out, get a win. I don't think they really wanna come against the winner. Got a finger run up in on a grenade. I ain't never been there when you think you compare. I'm a line, but the winner about the cage. I need all the wins. Yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get it, no call it quits. Yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets. Yeah. Better move out the way cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all of this. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out.
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the f is it? They should have had them two bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah.
Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up from my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working, I'm up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't ever going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On the road, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And guys, we're coming at you whether price is pumping or dumping, and today it looks like we want to get that drop to the downside. Now, if you guys have been watching the live stream, you will know we are in now 2 short positions. We took a short last week in anticipation of this potential drop down to about, my next target is sitting closer to about $92,000 to $91,000. Are we about to get that drop down? This is kind of what we've been saying on every live stream. Are we going to get the drop down to 91 to 92K, or are we going to get the bigger rip to the upside? And obviously, with the money flow coming out on the daily, the 2-day, as well as some of the other bearish signals that we've been seeing pop up on Market Cypher, as well as a bunch of other stuff, we have been kind of leaning, I was neutral for a while, kind of neutral bearish, but that higher time frame money flow, guys, very, very rarely lies. So, I am still holding my short here from 102K in anticipation of potentially coming down to the macro value area low, which we are approaching extremely, extremely fast. Is it the bear market? Is the top in? Or are you... I want to be careful with this, right? Obviously, you guys know where I stand as far as the bull market being over. I do not think the bull market is over. We've been kind of just waiting for this level to come in. And at the end of the day, guys, on Bitcoin, we are in massive consolidation. I know the altcoins are getting absolutely crushed, but this is not out of the ordinary for the price action that we're seeing, right? We have Total 3 getting the moves to the downside. We'll take a look at Total 3 today. I also want to take a look at Solana. Shout out to any of the CandleMafia that were watching the live streams last week, coming right down to our key level, guys. So I want to take a look at Solana as well, and kind of what we need here to get a bigger move to the upside. And more specifically, I want to talk about a very key level where we have a lot of liquidity sitting, that if we were able to come up there, that is where I'm going to be looking for the doorway to higher prices to open up, giving us that push above $100,000. But we're going to cover everything, guys, because we're getting that move to the downside. We're in that short from last week. And, I hate to come up here and be bearish, guys, but we have to just take a look at the charts and take that information for what it's worth and make the best decisions we can, right? And put the probability in our favor by using our edge, which is the technical analysis and the strategies we use here on this channel. So shout out to the Mafia. I know the pain is crazy out there, but we're going to try to help you guys out, because if you can learn how to trade these charts and make money whether price goes up or down, although it does hurt the spot bags to see price go down, you can make money on these drops as well. So shout out to the CandleMafia. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys for being here. We got Tony D in the chat. Shout out to Tony. We got Jesse in the chat. What is going on? Nathan, Wall Street Mafia. We got a bunch of Mafia in here. Shout out to the Wall Street Mafia, an ally to the CandleMafia. Shout out to you, man. Let's see. We got Erica in the chat. Melissa, what is going on? Shout out to the female CandleMafia. We got Mr. New Creation said, BTC, we are still in a daily range. Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Mr. New Creation. Yes, we are simply just consolidating here, guys, at least on Bitcoin. I know the alts are getting crushed. I'm going to take a look at Total 3 with you guys. Like I said, I'll give you an idea of what I'm looking at on the altcoins. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. We got Jay Bella in the chat. What is going on? We got Brock. What is going on? Said, this must be what the start of a bear market feels like. I'm getting wrecked. Need to either sell or buy more. Shout out to Brock. Yeah, if you're in altcoins, guys, I know the pain is real. So let's go ahead and jump on into the charts here, and I'll break down what I'm looking at, not only how we were able to look for this move to the downside to find that short position. We'll cover the long term. We'll cover the short term. I'm going to give you guys everything you need to know, not only to predict the next move on Bitcoin, but also find those next levels where you could potentially find some of these trades and make money even if we get another dump. So without further ado, let's go ahead. Oh, don't forget to smash the like button, guys. If we get 1,000 likes, we will be giving away $300 in Solana. I think it's $350 maybe. We'll just go with $350. We got so close on Friday's live stream, but we just missed it. So 1,000 likes, $350 in Solana on Friday's giveaway. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into the charts. Let's get into it. So here we are, guys. Oh, man. What are we going to do with this thing? Oh, God. Look at this little dumpski. Okay, so let's break this down, guys. Now, obviously, next key level to the downside, I'll just bring this up. I know a lot of people are probably panicking. If we continue down, guys, value area low, 90, which this one, this previous value area, where is my dang range here? Bear with me, guys. Let me pull up the actual volume profile. Why are we hidden here? There we go. So our previous value area low is really sitting at about $92,000, right? And the zone that I'm looking at is between $91,000 and $92,000. And at the end of the day here, guys, let me come up to a little bit of a higher time frame. At the end of the day, let me go ahead, and this POC, I guess, did move down slightly here. Let me go ahead and see something. Let me pull this to the current price action real quick. Bada boom. Wow, this comes all the way down here. Okay, yeah, so this is pretty much the same. This PLC did move slightly to about 96.6. However, guys, these are the key levels, right? We are approaching that value area low, and as you know, if you watch the live streams every day, you will know kind of what we've been looking at here, right? Once you wind up, we clung to this POC forever, and then we finally got this drop down to a key level, which was a 786 Fibonacci retracement, and this was kind of the first not bigger, but the first legitimate long setup that we've taken in the Discord for quite some time. Finally did get that to play out into our local value area high. I'll cover the local levels in just a minute, guys, and we have now lost that range, obviously. But, as we've been looking at this, guys, we cling to the POC, and obviously reclaiming this POC as support was a massive, massive level that we needed to get above, and this obviously has moved down. It was up here before, but, getting above that POC was absolutely massive. We needed to get above and flip that to support in order to get the bigger move up to the value area high, and that's kind of where I say, guys, I'm really just waiting for either higher prices or the lower prices for my next significant trade setup, and we're finally just getting that, right? We cling to that POC, which is the strongest magnet within the volume profile. We do typically cling to that, but the inability to reclaim this was really why we were, and not only that, but if you look at money flow on the daily, this was the biggest thing that we've been looking at, and you can see here on the daily that POC does move up a little bit. Oh, I know why that profile wasn't loading. But either way, money flow here on the daily, guys, right? We tried to come up last week, and then we just got rejected back to the downside. And this daily money flow, ever since we crossed over into the red, this is kind of what gave me, I was, although within this kind of choppy price action, this was essentially a 50-50 bet, guys. If you were saying we were going up here or going down here, at the end of the day, it was a 50-50 bet in my own personal opinion. But as I was saying, if someone was threatening me and said, you have to pick a direction, and they got a gun to my head, I would have to lean bearish, right? Based off the daily money flow. Ever since that money flow crossover into the daily, that's where I say to myself, hey, even if we get pushes to the upside, they're likely to be lackluster retracements to put in lower highs and continue that move down to our next key level, which is that value area low. And again, this could have broken up. I don't want to act like, this was the only thing that could have happened. Again, this is, in my opinion, like a 50-50 shot. Very, very choppy price action here. But again, when you have to stick to something, I say stick to the TA, because even if it doesn't play out, at least you put your bet on something sound, right? You're putting it into information. You're not just kind of saying, I feel bullish or I feel bearish. And there you go, right? Money flow stays in the red. You do get that continuation down, and we did get the higher probability outcome, which was to get that drop down towards the value area low, which maybe we're going to hit live on the stream tonight. So with that being said, I just kind of I like to talk about kind of how we got to where we are, so we can kind of understand where we're going next. And at this point, guys, I'm still just sitting on my hands, waiting for, last week, right, saying if we can get a move up here, sitting for this bigger level, or sitting for this bigger level, and that money flow did give us the higher probability outcome, being to the downside at the value area low. So at the end of the day, I am short here, obviously, in the premium Discord. Now, as you guys know, I'm in actually 2 shorts here. Holding the short over here on Blowfin from about entry at about, where's my entry? About $100,888. So almost like $101,000. Up about now at this point about 3,300. Still got 600 locked in. So this is, as I've been saying, right? I'm going to hold this short position in anticipation of potentially coming down to $92,000 to $91,000 at that value area low. So we're still holding that short. And then we also caught this little long position, which is now closed as I got stopped out in profit. Took profits along the way, and I'm going to get into those local levels in just a minute, but I'm still, just so you guys know, holding that short from 102K, which is continuing to play out. And I am also now holding the new short position that we're holding here over on Femex of about $2,700, got about 300 or 287 locked in. So this is another one that we're holding as a local short position, because I know not everybody can catch the short from up here, so we got to look for those entries up here, and we did catch it on that nice little retracement to the upside, and that is that new short position now dropping down to the value area low. So, overall, I will just say this. Let me see here. Let me hide some of this stuff. Let me go ahead. I'll hide this level. And I can actually keep this one on. So, major levels, again, remain the same. We're just finally seeing them tapped, right? Value area low. I would call it between about $92,000 and even like down to $91,000 here, guys. I'm okay with getting a deviation below this low. We obviously do have this wick sitting down here, which may have a lot of liquidity sitting just underneath it. So I am kind of looking at this as some kind of a zone of support, right? So if we do wind up getting the drop down into the value area low and deviate below, I will be looking to come sweep this liquidity, potentially if we could get some bullish confirmations, maybe look for a long position there, but only if we get those confirmations, because as we know, guys, as we've been going sideways here, at this point, guys, I know the altcoins are getting destroyed. And again, we're going to take a look at Total 3, and I'm going to kind of give you guys my best thought on, kind of where I think price is, where price is going to go on the altcoins and what I'm looking at on Total 3 in order to predict the move. But, when we look at this, right, Bitcoin is in consolidation, right? I know coming down is bearish locally, but at the end of the day, guys, we are just going sideways. Now, this does not mean, just because this isn't necessarily macro bearish, doesn't mean that we can't continue down, and we will talk about that situation as I've covered it so many times here on the live stream. So I really don't want to beat the dead horse. If you guys have been tuning in recently, you will know that kind of where we're expecting price to go if we break down below this range. But, these bigger levels do remain the same. We're just simply finally coming down into a bigger level of support, which, to be honest, guys, this is somewhat of a key level of support, being that value area low. And, we do have the liquidity sitting below. But once we wind up losing this level, guys, I've been saying this ever since, we've been consolidating for this, like, how long have we been in this consolidation before we finally broke? 20 days, right, of just going sideways. If we lose this, if we lose this range low, guys, not a lot of support below. And, we do have some of these wicks down here, which could give us, potential long opportunities on the way down. But at the end of the day, guys, the next significant levels of support, in my opinion, right, if I start to bring up some of these weekly, monthly, daily levels, you can see, like, most of our resistance is above, right? if you look at the naked points of controls, all this resistance is above. We don't really have a lot of significant support below this range, if I'm being quite honest, right? And if we do drop down, really the only level that I can look at here as a sound level of some kind of support is going to be this daily sitting down here at about $87,500, right? The, oh my God, please bounce level. We do not want to lose this level because, again, guys, if we lose this level, I am going to be looking for longs down here, but if we lose it, right, we do have a lot of liquidity sitting down here, and I think if we break below this and we start tapping into the 85,000s, I think this is where we could see things get really, really scary and push us down towards this next level of support. Now, I get a lot of questions recently. Obviously, Frankie, is the top of the bull market in? And at the end of the day, guys, we do technically have and this is, I don't want anyone getting scared, right? I'm not just saying that the bear market is in. Please keep this in mind. But we do have some signals here on the higher time frames that have popped up at the top of other bull runs, right? More specifically, we have weekly bearish divergences with our higher highs on price action, lower highs. Let me pull this up on a cleaner chart here. Bada boom, bada bing. We'll hide this. Bull market support band coming up as well, so I will cover that as well, but I'm going to hide it for now. But come on. Boom. Okay, so, when we look at this, guys, right, weekly bearish divergence is confirmed. This is one thing that we've been looking at for quite some time, right? Higher highs on our price action, lower highs on our momentum waves did wind up giving us the drop to the downside. We came up, put in a lower high, although we did wick above the previous high. This is technically a lower high with the candle closures. And we did, if you're looking at your wicks, right, we did get another kind of local bearish divergence here from the wicks, which I don't necessarily like. I'd rather see these to the bodies of the candles, but we did get more higher highs here with another lower high on our momentum waves. So we do have some weekly bearish divergences here, guys. And this is signals. These are signals that we have seen pop up in previous bear markets, right? Or at the start of previous bear markets, right? We've seen weekly bearish divergence, higher highs, lower highs. Money flow comes out on the weekly, and then we wound up getting the drop into the bear market. And this is really where I was calling for the bear market. We got this retracement to the upside, and we got a weekly blood diamond here on Market Cipher A. I'm so used to saying Market Cipher B, but we got that blood diamond on Market Cipher A, and that is really where I was looking at, like, hey, this does look bearish. There were many things we were looking at to look at another continuation to the downside, and I got roasted for that call. And at the end of the day, guys, I was talking to the Premium Discord earlier about this. It's very hard to call the top when you're at the top. Right? Because at the end of the day, you don't know if you're going to retrace, right? A lot of people thought we were going to hold this 30K range and then send it back to the upside for a super cycle. But at the end of the day, guys, it's much easier. You have to wait for macro structure to break. You have to wait for price action to develop to really call the highs based off the technicals. But we did have a weekly bearish divergence here. And this is technically a sign that we saw at the top of the bull market, right? We also had a monthly bearish divergence as well. Higher highs on our price, lower highs on our momentum waves, and then massive bear market. So these are some of the things that we've been seeing, that we have seen in previous bear markets, or at the start, I should say at the top of previous bull runs. So we do have some things here, right? We have the weekly bear div, and we even have the monthly bear div that is printing right now. This is probably, in my opinion, going to print and confirm in another 4 days and 1 hour. I don't know, unless we wind up just coming up here and breaking the highs. Like, this is likely going to confirm, which could give us the continuation to the downside, which is why we have been looking at those lower levels, guys. Again, I don't necessarily like to look at these levels and say that we're guaranteed to come down there, but the signs are there. And at the end of the day, guys, if we do come down to $82,000 to $80,000, you guys know that we have a key golden pocket in that zone. We also have daily naked point of controls. And at the end of the day, right, just like I was saying here, we don't have a lot of support down below this range. And, sure, oh, there we go. Value area low has been tapped. There we go. But if we do lose this range low, guys, we know, right? We've looked at the volume profiles many a times. Maybe I'll bring that up again today. There's a pretty big volume gap down here, guys. And at the end of the day, the next real significant levels of support don't come in until we get down to this golden pocket, right? Again, we have the daily here, which hopefully we can hold that, right? Oh my God, please bounce here. But other than that, if we don't swing fail one of these levels or hold the daily, we are very likely going to come down here into this golden pocket zone. Now, I'm not guaranteeing this to happen, but I'm just saying, there's not a lot of support down here, and I want you guys to be aware of that. And I'll pull up the VPVR as well to show you guys where that gap is, so you can kind of have an idea of, like, if this, then that. If we break this level, we're going to fall into the low volume gap, so you guys can expect when to see that bigger drop to the downside. But at the end of the day, if I'm just looking at this, guys, there's not a lot of support here until we come down to really between, at this point, the golden pocket's at 83,230 all the way down to about, 81.3. right, where we have the daily, and we also have daily naked points of controls down here as well, right? We have no naked points of controls in here, right? We have no daily levels other than this one right here. We have no weekly levels. We really just have a giant volume gap and no support. All the naked point of controls, all the horizontal levels, everything is above us, right? So, and then we also have high time frame money flow coming out, right? This is what we've been looking at forever. Money flow on the daily coming out. 2-day money flow also on the way to the downside here. If we see this 2-day money flow crossover, you bet your bottom dollar that this golden pocket is on the table. Now, does that guarantee that the top is in? In my book, this would be, I don't want to see this happen, right? And I'll pull this up on a clean chart. I don't want to see this golden pocket come in. And let me make sure I pull it to the right wick here. I don't want to see this, right? I have this pulled from the right where we broke where we broke out of this range, right, where we actually cracked this all-time high, and pulled all the way to the top here. And let me just change the settings here real quick. Bada boom, bada bing, right? So, I don't want to see us come down to this golden pocket, but at the end of the day, guys, at a higher time frame context, this would be extremely painful. And, could this be the bear market? Maybe, right? We'd have to reassess the situation if we come in here. But in my opinion, it's not until we come down and really break this 786, which comes in at about $75,000. Once we start breaking this is where I'm saying to myself, hey, this doesn't look good, right? Because at that point, once we break that, you guys know the deal. If you watch the channel, you know why I think this is bearish. Once we lose that 786, if we get accepted into this profile, that's going to call for much more downside. So until we wind up losing that 786, I can't, with a clear conscience, say that like this is the top of the bull market. Could it be? Absolutely. We don't know, right? But in my personal opinion, I think that if, and again, if you watch, I've been saying this for a while, right? Like, I think there is a possibility where we see a lot of pain enter the market, we play around in these levels, and then finally send it off to higher prices. I do not want to lose this golden pocket at the end of the day. Technically, the technical level is this 786. Once we lose the 786, again, coming in at about 75,950, that's where I really start to worry. I'm actually okay coming down to this golden pocket because I know a lot of people, I think what is giving people a lot of the bear market kind of vibes is altcoins, right? But at the end of the day, Bitcoin has not broken any significant structure, and even if it comes down here, we are still technically just coming down for a golden pocket retracement. And again, that doesn't guarantee that, the bull market's still on. But at the end of the day, there's really nothing to be alarmed about if we come down here, as long as we're able to hold support and not lose this Fibonacci retracement, right? Now, the trick here is, again, I don't want to say that it's impossible for the high to be in. Anything can happen, guys. These markets are absolutely unpredictable. But if we're going to cause max pain, at the end of the day, the only people feeling max pain here on Bitcoin are people who bought the tippy top. And if you're in that camp, it's totally fine, right? Like, everybody has to buy the top at some point, right? I've bought tops, I've sold bottoms, right? I've been through the whole thing. But, really, like, I feel, right, and like anyone who's been buying on the dips on Bitcoin, even if you bought this dip, right, you're basically getting close to break even, right? The people who are feeling pain on Bitcoin are people who bought the top. And again, it's totally fine if you did that. But, in the context of everything, when we zoom out on Bitcoin, guys, this is an uptrend, right? Like, you can't argue this. This is a fact, right? Like, we are making higher highs and higher lows. This is not a bearish market structure. So it's hard to say. It's very, very hard to call. Like, could we look back in hindsight? Hindsight's 2020. We could say, hey, weekly bear div, we knew that was bearish. We didn't know if it was going to be the tippy top of the bull market. But in my own personal opinion, I don't fall in that camp yet, right? When I see macro structure getting broken, when I think things are looking super bearish and we are likely to go into a bear market, just like I did back here, regardless of what I think the comments are going to say, I am going to let you know. Hopefully we could be just as accurate as last time. But again, calling, the breakdown here is much easier than calling this as the top, right? So keep that in mind, right? This is, I don't fall in the camp that the bull market is over just yet, right? At least looking at Bitcoin. And I know that, but frankly, the alts are getting crushed, right? Alts can get crushed while Bitcoin remains bullish, right? We really are waiting for QE to come in order to start this alt season. We need a lot of things to happen, right? We need QE, and we also need Total 3 to flip around. So we're going to take a look at Total 3 real quick in a second, but I do want to go over the local price action, right? So, worst case scenario as of right now, right? As of right now, the worst case scenario, in my opinion, is, again, we have support here where we will be looking for long. We can bounce, right? But again, when you take a look at this higher time frames, daily money flow, more importantly, the 2-day money flow, if this 2-day money flow crosses into the red, guys, that is typically where we're going to look for that drop down to the golden pocket and 786 zone, right? Which, again, this is the next place, right? I would expect a fast drop down here. If we break these lows, I am expecting a fast drop. I'm not looking at price being like, oh my God, that's the top of the bull market. There's giant red candles. Everybody's selling it to the bear market. I'm looking at this as a low volume gap. If we pull up the VPVR, sick. What is this? Okay, there we go. This is not what I wanted to do. Let me pull up the VPVR. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay, so let's take a look at VPVR, right? Visible range volume profile. This has, I have to type it in the actual name, VRVP. I like saying VPVR. You can see here, right? Pretty massive volume gaps here. And if I zoom in a little bit, you guys can see, right? If we just include this local price action, you can see, right? There's not a lot here, right? If we come down here, right? We have these range lows, right? If we start breaking down here, guys, I'm gonna expect a fast drop to the downside. Really, technically, once we start losing that daily at 87.3, I'll even mark this out on a horizontal, a horizontal line, right? 87.347, I believe it is, because we've been looking at the same price action for some time here. 347. Let me just double check to make sure that's the level. 87.347. Okay. So if we lose this daily, guys, I'm not gonna lie. It's really not the best. It's not the best look, right? Because again, in the medium term, if we lose this, I would be anticipating a pretty fast drop down. Not only because there's not a lot of support, but because of this low volume gap. And you can see here, we have a little spike in volume here at about 85K, where we have this range low, which I will also mark out. Range low at 85K, bada boom, right? That's like the only little high spike in volume here. But other than that, once you wind up losing this daily, huge low volume gap. And when you're looking at these volume profiles, guys, at the end of the day, price likes to stick to the high volume nodes, right? We have high volume here. That's why this node is here, because we created a lot of volume up there. But price does like to stick to those high volume nodes. And if we come to the low volume nodes, that is typically where we see fast moves, right? Fast move up oftentimes leads to a fast move down. This is exactly what I would expect if we lose these key levels. Does that make sense? I want to make sure you guys understand this. I don't want to talk over anyone's head. I don't want to move too fast. I know I'm a fast talker. I'm a New Yorker. I know I talk fast, but I want you guys to understand this. So like a lot of the levels here are somewhat not that strong. And again, I'm not saying this is definitely coming, right? We still have to lose this volume profile, which I will bring up in a second, and we still have to lose all these key levels. But once we break the daily at 87.347, right, that's where I think that fast move down is probably going to start, right? And if we don't get held up on the $85,000 range low, very likely we come down to that daily. And again, all the key resistance and all the key levels are up here. We don't really have any other key levels until we come into this zone, right? Other than that daily, right? This is like the only key level we have. We have 1 million key levels above with 1 key level below. So if this doesn't hold, probably going to get attracted to those next big levels of support. So let me give you some levels on here. I'll give you the numbers so you can mark them off on your chart so you guys are ready, and not only ready with the, not only ready for the, look at the bounce. Look at the bounce, baby. Let me come on over here. But the, not only ready for where you should be looking for support, but also ready for, where you could potentially anticipate a bigger dump. And hopefully we don't have to see that happen, right? We just hit support, and you guys can see we are getting a little bit of a bounce here, right? Look at that. Nice little bounce at the value area low. Right at the value area low. Right at that level, guys. We don't just look at these levels for no reason. I'm actually tempted to take a little bit of a long position here, but we'll touch on that in a minute. But I want to give you guys these levels, right? So let me hide some of this stuff. I'll hide all the nitty gritty stuff and just give you guys like the real key levels, right? Daily 87.347. This is in the case of the worst case scenario, right? Hopefully we could just get a bounce here, come back up to the POCs, get above, and send this thing back to the upside. But we have to keep in mind that money flow is coming out on the higher time frames, and there's a reason why we've been looking at that level as the higher probability zone to come down to. And wait until we get to Solana, guys. Solana also at our key level we were looking at last week, absolutely perfect. Daily 87.437. I'm sorry, 87.347. If we lose that, that's where I think we are definitely at risk of getting the fast move down, right? Wiggle our way down here. If we can't hold any of these SFP levels, maybe we can get some. We will be looking for scalp longs on these SFP levels in the premium Discord, but if we can't hold them, guys, this is your next big area to look for the bounce, right? And at the end of the day, if we have liquidity sitting here and here, what can we look at that as, right? If we know that there's a lot of stop losses sitting below this low, let me grab my ray, right? Sitting below this low and sitting below this low, right? If there are a lot of people with their stop losses here, once price comes down and starts stopping out those long positions, it's going to create market sell pressure. That's what happens when you get stopped out of a long. That could push us down here. And if we don't just sweep that liquidity and send it, right, that could be the trigger to push us down into this next liquidity zone on this wick. Once those stops start getting hit and liquidated, that's going to give even more sell pressure, which is why I'm being very cautious on these key levels. This is really the only horizontal level that I would be looking at for a significant bounce. So maybe we come down if we don't, bounce off that or get the sweep of liquidity. If we don't get the sweep of liquidity, and that's dangerous because this could push us into this one, and then that could cause the cascade of the big move down into that key level. So kind of like an honorable mention here at about 89K, kind of like an honorable mention here at 91K, right? That's why I'm looking at this as a little bit of a zone, right? Maybe we come in, maybe we come down, get some bullish confirmations, sweep that liquidity, and then we come for a move back to the upside, and then we can assess whether this move up is going to be a big move up, and I'm going to talk to you guys about exactly what I'm looking at, the exact level I want broken in order to send this thing up to much higher prices. It's a very key level for a very specific reason, not just, oh, I want to break this level because it sounds like a good price to break, right? There's actual reasons I'm looking for that level to send us higher. Now, if, again, if that liquidity sends us all the way down and that daily does not hold, this is the next level, and there is a ton of liquidity sitting down here. And if we break that $85,000 level, this is where I think you get that fast drop down through that low volume gap. Quick move up equals quick move down. We have to be careful of that. Volume profile, the volume gap is there. We have the liquidity sitting below, and there's reasons we're looking at this, right? It's not just this random willy-nilly stuff. So just keep that in mind. Shout out to FedBomb, said 80K incoming. That would bring us all the way down to that last naked point of control. So I just want to point it out, guys. I'm not saying this is guaranteed to happen, but if we see that bearish case play out, worst case scenario, we could be looking between about 83 and $80,000, right? And again, tomorrow on the live stream, if we get the bigger breakdown and we're playing around with this level, there are opportunities where we could see bounces at these levels, but we have to assess price as we come into them. So I like to have you guys prepared with the bigger levels. And again, if I just hide all this stuff, right? Let me hide all this, right? Let's hide the volume profiles. Bada boom, bada bing, right? We'll hide the daily levels, hide these wicks, hide the golden pockets, right? And we're just looking at daily naked points of controls. I'm going to hide the liquidity, right? These are just additions to the chart that can help us get a little bit more confluence and an idea of how we would expect price to move. I'm going to get rid of this wick low, right, at the range low. At the end of the day, if we're looking at daily levels, if we're looking at weekly levels, if we're looking at monthly levels, if we're looking at naked points of controls, real levels of structural support, everything's up here. There is nothing until this daily at 87,347. And then once you lose that, there's really nothing until at least 83K at the golden pocket down to that last daily naked point of control at 80K, right? So these are really the only other structural levels that we have. So if we don't get some kind of like a very nuanced like swing failure level or a crazy fake out, which we will be ready for in the premium Discord, we will be trading that if it presents itself. But at the end of the day, we're just looking at this from the support and resistance standpoint. We start losing this, guys, daily, and then this zone. This is all we got, right? There's nothing in between here. There's nothing in between here. So could be a fast drop, could be a fast drop. Just be aware of that. And I will not be panicking if we come into this level. And that's why I like to show this, because I know a lot of people are scared out there. I know a lot of people think the top of the bull market is in, and that could be, right? I'm the first person to tell you guys, nobody knows. I know we got the secret, I know we got the crystal ball. I know we're right more often than we're not. I know we were looking for this value area low, and now we're here. I know. I understand it, but the thing is, at the end of the day, guys, there's nothing that we can just look at and be like, this is definitely the top. We have the weekly bear divs. We have the monthly bear div. But at the end of the day, there's also a lot of metrics that happened at the top of the previous bull market that we don't have hitting here, right? We didn't have a peak in retail sentiment, right? The retail sentiment this cycle was nowhere near what it was in the last cycle. And with the idea that crypto is much more well-known now, it's much more mainstream, it doesn't really make a lot of sense, right? And, there's a lot of stuff, right? We do, and if all it takes, guys, if we get, right, let's say we do see again, I do want to say this, guys, we say this every time we're looking for a big drop after breaking a key level. If we get this bigger drop down, I'm showing you the charts. When the news happens, you guys tell me what it was, right? When that bearish news comes out to give us that big dump down, you guys tell me what it was. I don't know what the news would be, but I do think if we come down to 80K, there's going to be some kind of bearish news. Something's going to kill the sentiment there, right? But from a chart perspective, I don't care. I'm looking for the key levels to break, and I'm anticipating the fall through the low volume gap, right? I'll just clear it up for you a little bit. Bada boom, bada bing, bada boom. And we're going to go local in a second so I can show you guys what I'm looking at in here. But, again, at the end of the day, if we get the bigger drop down, right, once we break this level, tell me what the news is if we start breaking down here. I don't know. I don't care, right? All I know is if we break these levels, it could give us a fast drop down. Whatever that news is, maybe we get that. And all it takes, guys, is a rate cut, right? Maybe we get down there, right, to the daily maybe, and then we get a rate cut or something, right? And then that's all we need to potentially get some better sentiment in the market and get a big move to the upside as we're coming down to key levels, right? So there it is, right? And if we break down to the golden pocket, we'll see another drop through the low volume gap, and then we'll see what that news event is, right? All we know is if we break this level, daily could give us a fast move down. In the worst case, dropping us down to 80K. I don't know what that news would be, but chances are there's probably going to be a news event. And hopefully, everybody in here, I don't know how many people we have in here. Shout out to 1,749 of you. This is, I'm just going to say it now. We're going to come back on this live stream if we get the drop, and there will be some kind of news event very likely. And we're going to say, guys, remember in that live stream when we were looking at the low volume gap and we said the news doesn't matter? Fill in the blank. We'll call back to that. But that's what I'm looking at, right? That's worst case scenario. But as of right now, I am not looking for shorts, right? I am not looking to short the bottom here. And again, I'm not saying this is a strong bottom, but I am not looking to short at support. So let me pull up the key levels again. I'll hide some of this stuff so we can clean up the chart. Bada boom. Bada bing. And I'll pull up the main levels, right? Like I am not looking to short into support here, right? This is too late, right? Our short positions are from up here. I'll even pull them up, right? We're short from all the way up here in the premium Discord. And we're also, for people who can get in there, we're also short from right here. I'm holding both of these positions. It's already dropped down to the value area low, so technically this has played out in full. Or no, I'm sorry. This one is running. Let me hide this. Technically, this short position has played out in full because technically the final target for this was that value area low. Assuming we would get back into the value area, lose it, go to the POC, and then once you lose the POC, very likely you're going to go to the value area low. Now, I am going to hold a portion of this, locking in profits along the way. In case we do get the bigger breakdown, I want to hold that position from up here and potentially capitalize even more. But at the end of the day here, we are not going to be shorting at support. If anything, I'm looking for longs down here. But I'd probably be looking for lackluster longs for lower highs and continuations down based off money flow. Even your 2-hour money flow here crossing into the red. Money flow very rarely lies. We don't have any bullish divergences here on the 2-hour. No bullish divergences here on the 4-hour, right? I would like to see nice bull divs with money flow coming up on these medium hourly time frames for a big move up. But locally, we might be able to print some of these lower time frame bull divs at the value area low and get a little bit of a continuation up. That might be nice, right? You have to understand a lot of people on these big drops funnel into shorts, and you could get a little squeeze to the upside. But I would be treating these as scalps. The longs would be treated as scalps until proven otherwise based off the higher time frame money flow. So yeah, just to be clear, although we're looking at those lower levels does not mean that we're guaranteed to go there right now, and it definitely does not mean I'm shorting from the at the bottom. We short as price pumps. Everybody gets bullish here, right? I want you guys to catch a little bit of a pattern here. Everyone's super bearish. We're looking for longs. We make money on the long. Everyone's getting bullish. We reassess the situation. We're looking for shorts based on the context of the market. That's where we're shorting. As people get bullish, we're shorting, right? So we are not going to be shorting here, as a lot of people are probably getting bearish, and you just don't generally short at support. You want to short on the pumps and long on the dumps, right? I know it sounds counterintuitive. It might sound like an oxymoron. Like, why would I be shorting as price is going up? That's stupid. But you can't just short against an aggressive uptrend. You have to know what to look for to actually enter those shorts, which we do in the premium Discord. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if we can hold this value area low for a little bit of a local bounce. But you know, at the end of the day, I mean, I guess technically, if we look at the local levels here, let me actually pull up local 2. Yeah, so I want to talk about two ranges here. This is obviously the local range that we have been looking at recently. This is how we were able to catch that long position from the 786 back into the range to the POC up to the high, and then how we were able to catch this short from the high. From the high all the way down to the low. We were using the context of this volume profile. When we deviate below these volume profiles, right, below this range, this is looked at as undervalued. This is where we look for longs. Everybody gets scared. We know this is undervalued. If we get the confirmations, we look for those long positions. When we deviate above, this is looked at as overvalued. We had bearish confirmations. We swept liquidity. That's why we were looking for the short to get a move back down to the POC in the value area low. And if you guys remember till last week, let me go ahead and take a look at this real quick. I've actually moved this. I actually moved this profile because I updated it because we came back into value. But if we move this back a little bit, our POC. Or was it actually the macro POC here? Yeah, we had our macro POC sitting here at 96. Let me hide this. $96,650, right? It was actually a little bit higher than that. But, you know, when we were looking at the charts on last week's live stream, you guys will know. We got the bounce here. I didn't like the low here. I did not like this low. I said it on the live stream. You know, if we did get a continuation up, I'll actually show this in the premium Discord real quick. Where is it? Right here, right? This was posted, I think, right before the live stream. Yeah, 527. I dropped this right before the live stream. We had our short for the day play out in full, but as we were deviating below this volume profile, we looked for a potential reclaim of the range to get a push to the upside, but I did not like that low. There were a lot of things on the chart pointing to a break to the downside here and a continuation to the downside, aka money flow in market cipher B, but we were looking for that push into the POC, but this was very key resistance. We were looking at this as a lackluster pump to the upside to potentially roll over and come back down. And what happens? We get that roll up into that POC and we roll back down and get the break of structure to the downside. Absolutely beautiful. Price is finally starting to trade a little bit more technically here, right? In this chop, this was, like I said, this was basically a 50-50 range. This was like, I'm not afraid to say it, guys. When we have low probability trading environments, I don't come up here and just say that there's high probability moves to make myself look good. When I see a sideways range that is low probability, I find it as my responsibility to be honest about that, right? I'm not going to tell people, guys, this is super bullish. We're going to rip up to $1 million, right? This was a low probability trading environment. This was basically a 50-50 shot. And that's why for the bigger trades, right, I only took 2 little scalps in here that both got stopped out. Low probability. And that's why I was sitting on my hands waiting for the bigger push up to react off the resistance or a bigger push down for a reaction at support, right? And now we're just finally seeing that we're coming down to the value area low, which was confluent with that money flow. Absolutely. Now we're finally starting to trade much more technically here. You can see that the local volume profile is getting respected more. We went to the low, reclaimed, back to the high, deviation, back in, full rotation of the low, reject the POC, and now we've lost that range, looking for that value area low, and here we are. So finally, we're starting to get somewhat more predictable. It's a little easier to do the analysis on this because a little more higher probability now because things are just much more technical at this point. Shout out to Millennial Crypto. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you so much for the super chat. Said, I've pulled fixed range volume profile so many ways, but value area low stays at 93.2. Shout out to Millennial. I'm not sure exactly why that's happening, but if you check out the tutorials in the beginner series, they're obviously just free on YouTube. You can see how I generally pull these. Let me grab my volume profile here. So right now, this one I have pulled. It doesn't really change much depending on where you have it pulled from. But at this point, right now that we're at the, let me pull the. So let me actually hide this one. So yeah, this one, yeah, 92.4 is where I have it pulled from. And I have it pulled here from about Sunday, November 10th, all the way to the current price action. That should give you, if you're selecting that same amount of candles, that should be where your value area low is. But just make sure that you're on the Bybit USD chart. Because if you're on a different exchange, it's going to give you different levels probably. So there you go. But shout out to Millennial Crypto. Hopefully that helps you out, brother. Let's see. Bada boom. Yo, juggling knives. Shout out to David. Shout out to you, bro. Let me just make sure I didn't miss any super chats here. Shout out to Tony D. Said, this could become a record stream. Smash that like button, everybody. Let's blow this up. Welcome to the best trading community on YouTube. Shout out to Tony D. Yeah, smash that like button, guys. We are at 708. Oh, God, guys. We might wind up giving away $350 in Solana today. Smash out that like button. Actually, don't smash it, guys, because then we have to give away $350 of Solana. I'm kidding. I'm happy to give away that Solana, guys. Smash it up. 1K likes. We're giving $350 away. And maybe we'll give it away not in Solana because Solana's getting smacked. However, if you believe in Solana and you think it's going to go back up, maybe it's nice to get $350 in Solana down here. But let's see. All right. So for the most part, guys, just to reiterate here one time, really simply. These are your macro levels. And again, there are a couple of different ways to pull this. If we pull this, come on. This POC does move. If you pull it to your current price action, you do get the POC up here at 96,631. If you pull it from the previous, I'd probably have this actually. Probably have it pulled here. It's probably not going to move that much either. Yeah, either way, 97.4, 90 or 97.3. I'm sorry, is another. I'd probably just be looking at the current profile at this point, right? Pull it to the current price action. Anybody looking at this profile, I'd be going from November 10th all the way to current price action, right? Value area low, POC at 96.11, right? So we are going to be looking for longs here in the premium. For potential, bounces back into that POC. But remember, with hot money flow indicates the longer-term trend. As long as this money flow stays in the red on the daily, right? We tried to fake out into the green, didn't get accepted, right? 2-day money flow now continuing to the downside here. If this money flow crosses over into the red, we have to look at this through the lens of lackluster retracements for potential lower highs and continuations down. Have to keep that in mind. But overall, these are the macro levels. Value area low. Let me adjust this a bit. Excuse me, value Oh, what the heck is that? What alarm is this? I don't know what that alarm is. Okay. But there we go, right? Value area low coming in at 92,319. And this zone, I do have this zone drawn all the way down to this wick where, again, we probably have a lot of liquidity sitting. So this is a little bit of a zone. And that's a potential area where we could sweep some liquidity. So if we drop here, I'm going to look to go hunt out this liquidity that we have sitting below this wick. And then that could be, right, maybe we deviate below this range. We start to look for a little bit of a bullish confirmation to maybe catch a long position. If we don't get the confirmations, we're simply going to sit on our hands and let those shorts continue to pay us out down to those lower levels. But that's what we're looking at, right? Value area low, 92,319, POC, 96,611, and then the value area high, which is now very far away, up to 103,224. And if anybody's been watching this live stream, shout out to the CandleMafia guys, because if you take anything away from this, just understand, shout out to Crypto Face, money flow very, very rarely lies. When you have that high time frame, especially high time frame money flow on the daily, guys, remember, we use this as a filter of whether we should be looking for pumps to the upside. If this is coming into the red, we look at these pumps as lackluster to put in lower highs and continue to lower prices. And we use those local volume profiles to potentially find the short positions if we want to catch them, right? If we're looking for a lackluster pump to the upside, we could use this local range to find those short positions to send it back down to lower prices. And it's exactly what we did in the premium Discord, absolutely smashing the trades. So that's what I'm looking at on Bitcoin. Lower levels covered, internal levels covered, and even the hyper local levels, right? Now, one other range I want to look at with you guys here. This is, honorable mention. This is a little bit of more of a local range. Again, maybe we won't look at this, right? This isn't. I won't even confuse anybody with this extra range. I would just be looking at the macro range, right? I'm okay bing-bonging around down here. If we get bullish confirmations looking for longs, back up to the POC. That POC is going to be massive resistance, right? Because if you do get the bounce up and money flow continues out, you're going to be anticipating. Remember, we're using it as a filter. If this money flow is continuing out, we're going to look for lackluster pumps up, for lower highs, and potential continuations down. Not a guarantee that we come down here, but if this and money flow comes out, then that is in the cards. And that's if we even get the bounce here. Now, if I pull my fib from the local high to the low here now, you can see we are now getting some nice confluence on this POC with our 786 golden pocket. So if we get a local bounce here, if this value area low decides to hold, let's get rid of that line, right? And we do get a local bounce and somehow get an aggressive bounce here, this would be a big level of resistance to look at for resistance. But I'll be, for a lower high, I'm sorry. But I will say, we've bing-bonged around on this POC for so dang long, I hope we don't have to revisit it. If we're going to get the drop, let's not go up and then drop. Let's just send it down here. Let's get it over with, rip the Band-Aid off, and send this thing to zero so we can hopefully just get it back up to higher prices. But that's what I'm looking at, guys. I hate to, I never come up here. I say this all the time. I never come up here and just say I think we're going lower because I feel like that, right? Like money flow was coming out. It was the higher probability scenario. And to be honest, I probably wouldn't have even been shocked if this faked out and came to the upside. Very choppy price action. But even in the choppy price action, if you just lean on the money flow, lean on the technical analysis, it is going to play out more often than it doesn't. Pulling up the short here, yeah. Short from, what is it? Oh, this is the short from 98K, yeah. So this one's up like 3,400 now. This one up 36, about $4,000. Not too shabby. Shout out to the premium Discord, man. This is, yeah, we'll see. Volume profiles are goated here, guys. I mean, again, if you are not using the volume profiles in your trading, please, for the love of God, guys, go. It's a free education is here on the channel. You don't have to be in the premium Discord to learn the basics of volume profiles. Just watch the YouTube channel, guys. It's 100% free. We don't charge for this. A lot of the information on this channel, a lot of people charge for. We just give it away for free because we want you guys to learn. We want you to make money, and that's my whole thing. I want to create a YouTube channel where we could give away as much free value as humanly possible. And shout out to, I think it was Coin Hoover last week. He was like, I made money trading just the information on this live stream. So even if obviously you'd have to watch the tutorials to learn how we use this stuff. But at the end of the day, guys, like the volume profiles are absolutely goated. Absolutely goated. And those local trades just are what we have to show for it, right? Bing bong around. Whoops. Get rid of these bigger levels here. Bada boom. Come on. Bada boom. Bada bing. Bada boom. Come on. Right? Deviate below the low. Once you get above that value area low, next place for price likely go is going to be that POC. then that value area high. Deviate above, bearish confirmations, get back into the range. Very likely you come to the POC and the value area low. And then we were looking literally for this push up. I mean, I showed it in the premium Discord. I don't have to prove anything. I mean, we do it live here every day, even on the live stream, looking for that lackluster push up into that POC area for another break of structure to the downside. Really happy that, I stuck with my sentiment last week because it wound up playing out very nicely. And another honorable mention here, guys, we also do, if we pull up the main range, right, if we pull up our anchored VWAPs, this is another, might make a tutorial on this. I have 2 tutorials I want to make coming up. Market Cipher B116 strategy, which we cover all the time here on the live streams. I'm probably going to make a tutorial on that as well as maybe anchored VWAPs as well. We do have a swing high here, the swing high at about $99,557. This is going to be key resistance on the way back up, right? These anchored VWAPs have been absolutely undefeated. I'm not going to lie, right? We had our anchored VWAP from $102,000, right? This was what we hit our head on. We could not claim it. And then we just, again, came back up into that anchored VWAP and then got the bigger rejection to the downside. Absolutely intense anchored VWAP. I would keep this on the dang chart. But we do have another one that I would be willing to look at, and it would be pulled from this high at $99,523. Now, the level we need to break for higher prices. Now, again, I don't think we really have to cover this that much right now. Look at the anchored VWAPs, guys. I'm not going to lie. I might start putting the same respect on the anchored VWAPs that I put on the volume profiles. The volume profiles are the goated trading tool, the biggest, the best trading tool you could possibly use. But the anchored VWAPs are a dang close second. I'm not going to lie. I mean, even here, like local, boom, rejection, send it to the downside. Anchored VWAPs are crazy. I really want to make, I don't teach this a lot. I think I have a video on anchored VWAPs, but I will say, I don't think I have much on this, so maybe I will cover this because these are becoming one of my favorite trading tools. And it's been a while since I found or started like really incorporating a trading tool that's becoming like daily use for me. So it could be big, right? But yeah, that's what I'd be looking at for the most part. Now, if you want moves to the upside, I know we're far away, but I do just want to bring this up, guys. We do have a lot of liquidity still sitting above here. You guys will remember, if I pull up the local levels again, you will know this big liquidity box really was sitting between 98.8 and about $100,000. Now, we did come up and sweep a lot of that liquidity. This is very important, right? We did come up and we swept a decent amount of that first chunk of liquidity, right? Because, and again, just to explain this, when you have people shorting at these range highs, their stop losses are going to be above, right? That's what puts that liquidity above. When I mention liquidity, I'm simply just I'm referring to stop losses and liquidation levels in the market. And when you get stopped out of a short position, it creates a market buy. So just to kind of break this down, maybe I'll make a video on liquidity as well. Just breaking, I've done this in the past, but maybe I'll do an updated video, right? Like if you're shorting here, stop loss is going to go somewhere above, right? If you're shorting here, stop loss is going to go somewhere above, right? And everyone, liquidation levels are going to be a little higher. It depends, right? Like, but when you're shorting in here, the idea is that there's a ton of stop losses above here. Everybody's super bearish in this range. You could assume that there's a lot of people shorting up here, putting a lot of liquidity above the highs. And what happened? We came up, we tapped into that liquidity, we got the shot to the upside, and we stopped a lot of that liquidity out, right? And we liquidated a lot of that liquidity, right? And what happened? We got the sweep of liquidity, and we got the big dump to the downside, giving us a beautiful, beautiful entry down here to capitalize on this short. But we do now have a lot of liquidity still sitting here. This box did not get wrecked in full, right? Like we swept a little bit of it, but we still have liquidity sitting above this wick between about $99,530 all the way up to $100,000. And, when we know we have a lot of that liquidity, I will say, the way this price action has been, there's probably a ton of liquidity above this high now. So if and when we are able to potentially get the move back up here, once we crack $100,000, guys, this could give us that really big short squeeze to the upside, in my own personal opinion. And I maybe I'll pull it up right now. I don't want to spend too much time looking for it. But if we pull up the liquidation heat map real quick, let me see if I could pull this up. Bada boom. Okay, we got it. Let me just refresh real quick, and then I'll come into chat, and we will take a look at the altcoins as we continue to see this price action develop. How low can we go? How low can we go? But now you can see here, just to bring up some local liquidity levels, just to bring this up, right? Above $100,000. Look at that hot spot of liquidity. I'll even try to make it a little bit easier to see, right? Starting at about almost 100K, right? 99.5, 99.4. That hot spot of liquidity starts into $100,000. So come up here, boop, boo, right? Bing bong, up to the higher prices. I think that could give you a bigger squeeze up to the value area high, which sits, right? The macro value area high, that sits at 102 to 103K up here. break 100K, I think that's where you get the bigger squeeze. Now, below us, we got to watch this 91,000, about $91,000, right? And if I pull it back up right here, 93, we did have a lot of liquidity. And what happened? We just got that sweep of liquidity. Everybody's scared. Oh my God, it's dumping. Why is it dumping? We are taking out this liquidity. When you dump into this liquidity, just like the short positions, when you get a lot of long positions and their stop losses are below, and you come down and you tap into those stop losses when you get stopped out of a long position or liquidated out of a long position, it adds market sell pressure to the books. Drop to the downside. That is what we're seeing right now. We are flushing out this liquidity. Now, down here, we could potentially also have a little bit of liquidity at about 91. Where's that wick? I think it's right here. Yeah, about 91K. There could be liquidity here. I'd have to pull up a little bit of a lower time frame. Let me see if we have that liquidity down there, right? Flushing out all that liquidity. Again, the idea here, just to actually teach you guys something so you can apply this to your own trading, right? If you are long here, where's your stop loss going to go? Right? Well, it's either going to go below this low, right? Obviously, somewhere below this low, but a lot of people might even put it below this low. People who don't have good risk management might have a super big stop loss below this low, which puts a lot of liquidity here, which in turn, if we have a lot of liquidity down here, we've already seen a big flush of it, right? We just snapped through all these. And like, I really want to teach here, right? Like, I want you guys to understand what we look for, right? This is how we're able to predict these moves. If I'm long here, my stop loss is going to be somewhere below that low. And everyone's stop loss is going to be a little bit different, right? Someone might have it lower. Someone might have it even lower. Someone might even have it a little lower. Some people might just have their liquidation levels down here, right? Some people might have it below this low here, right? So when you have all this, once you start tapping into those liquidations and stop losses, you stop out that long, market sell. Stop out another one, market sell. And that's what causes that market, that collapse, that avalanche, that cascade of dump to the downside. This is why you get those liquidation dumps, right? And that's exactly what we just saw it happen live, right? So if we break, right, I don't know if we're going to get the sweep here. We might just go for this lower level, right? So we come down here. Maybe we sweep more of that liquidity down below. And then hopefully we can get at least some kind of a bounce. So that's what I'm looking at, guys. That's for the most part what I'm looking at on Bitcoin, right? We don't really have any significant bullish divergences. And again, daily and 2-day money flow coming to the downside, right? Not the best look here. And if I pull up a... yeah, I mean, there's a lot of liquidity sitting like even down to about 85K if I'm looking at it. Yeah, back down to about 86K, right? Like there's a lot of liquidity sitting all down here. So we really don't want to like really break down here because this could give us a big cascade down. And then down here, another big cascade down based on the liquidity. But let me see. Yeah, you do. Yeah, what is this wick? This wick is 91K. Let's see, 90. Yeah, it's not as visible on those lower levels, but we'll see what happens here, guys. We'll see what happens, but, you know, that's what I'm looking at, right? Just keep an eye on these macro levels. Let me pull up chat here. We're just digging in. Bada boom. Oh, my God. Chat going nuts. Chat going nuts. Seemed like we blasted past that 1,000 like goal. Yo, let's go. 1,200 likes on the live stream, guys. Let's get it. Shout out to the CandleMafia, guys. We're going to be giving away $350 in Solana. Hey, run it up to 2,000 likes, and we'll give away $650 in Solana. Let's go. Run it up, Mafia. 2,000 likes. 2,000 likes. Let's get it. It's got to be organic, obviously. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Smash that like button, guys, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, guys. If you do not want to miss these levels, if you do not want to miss these key targets, if you don't want to miss my general sentiment, which, again, I'm not going to pretend like I'm right 100% of the time. If someone tells you they're right 100% of the time, they're lying to you. I will not do that to you. My interest, I have your best interest in heart, right? I am not here to just get as many clicks on my videos as possible. I don't care about favoring the bulls to get more views. I do not care, right? We want views on our YouTube channel, obviously, but I really care about helping traders understand how the market moves, and that's why I give away so much free value here. So understand what we're looking at here. If you missed the TA, scrub back to the beginning. I give it to you from start to finish. And if you're completely lost, subscribe to the channel. This whole YouTube channel is a free trading course. Go to the beginner series. We even organized it a little bit for you. And the tutorials are still to come. We have tons of tutorials that we're going to be doing. So yeah, check it out. Subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of the urgent market updates. Because we've been kind of low-key nailing it here recently. So as we do often, right? But again, we're not right 100% of the time. I'm never going to sit up here and falsely advertise. Let's see. I need that Solana. Shout out to Dark. Okay, so let's jump into Solana. We'll keep an eye here on the price action on Bitcoin, and we'll see. I'll actually just set an alert above here in case we get back above that value area high, or value area low, rather. But let's come to Solana, guys. And yo, shout out to the premium Discord, guys. There you go. POC tapped, right? Like, you cannot make this up, guys. You cannot make this up. I never say this to brag. I say this to, if anything, brag about how magical TA can be and how it can help you predict the moves in the market. If you go back to the live streams last week, guys, what were we looking at on Solana? First off, we had our local Fibonacci retracement, 786. Golden pocket 786. We knew once we lost this 786, we were likely going to get a fast drop down to our value area high, which was our next key level of support. If that key level of support was not going to hold, I'll talk about what we were expecting. I think you guys know. But we got that little bounce to the upside. But what was money flow doing? Daily money flow was in the red. 2-day money flow was crossing into the red. What does that make us anticipate? Lackluster retracements to the upside and continuations down. I don't say this because I want to be bearish. I say it because the information is on the charts. If I could come up here and be bullish every single day, I would. But we lost that 786. We got the drop down to the value area high. And then last week, we were looking at this value area high. And not only that, but we also had, again, looking at the golden pocket retracement, we came up, we retested that golden pocket. This was not looking good. This was a super bearish candle. And we were saying, if you can't get up here and reclaim that golden pocket, once you lose the golden pocket, where are you expecting price to go? Once you lose the golden pocket, next likely place for price to go is to go for that 786, which is exactly where we were sitting earlier today. We tapped that 786. And even in the premium Discord, as we were looking at this playing out exactly as we were looking for, based off the TA and the strategies that we use, not just based off because I have secret information, right? We base this off real information. Not only did we get the rejection from the golden pocket, which gave us the high probability, this is why I was looking for this level to get tapped on Solana. Here we are, right? But once he hit that golden pocket, we were talking about, in the premium Discord, like, should you be longing here? In my opinion, I said I want to sit on my hands because at this point, we're below our value area high, which makes the POC very likely to get hit. And what happens? We get that next drop to the downside right into that POC, which is our blue box, which is typically support, right? So here we are. We look for the move down to the value area low on Bitcoin. We look for the move down to the 786 POC on Solana, and here we are, all targets being hit. So, and I will come back to Solana real quick, but I want to check it and look at where we are on Ethereum, right at the value area low, guys. These levels absolutely shallap, baby. They shallap. But coming back to Solana, what can we expect next here? Well, I bet a lot of the Mafia that's been here for quite some time could probably anticipate what I'm about to say. And that is that Solana's going to zero, guys. It's garbage. I'm just kidding. That's a joke. I don't think it's going to zero. But let's take a look here, right? So we got down to the 786 POC. I mean, we're just here, right? We anticipated it. We got it. But at this point, right, if we can't hold, I mean, what you would be hoping for here is a hold of the 786 and a big push up, right? At this point, I mean, we're on the 4-hour time frame. This candle doesn't look too good, right? We do have the VWAP coming up. So your hope here would be to reclaim POC, at 142.83. If you reclaim the POC at 142.83, you still got to get back above the 786, and then maybe that's where you can send it. But I'll be honest with you, what does the higher time frame say? Sure, you could get a green dot on the 2-day here somewhat soon, but that money flow is going to make you anticipate a lackluster retracement for a potential lower high and a potential break of structure to the downside. Once again, this is the same thing that we looked at on Solana last week, but in a different context. Right? We had money flow coming out on the daily. We had a lot of money flow coming out, honestly, on Solana specifically. But we look for the lackluster retracement, lower high, and then a break structure to the downside with the key target of the golden pocket POC. 786 POC. Right? So same thing here. If we get a bounce here, right, which this is technically your next major key level of support, which I don't like longing at a POC, to be quite honest with you. I'd rather wait for the value area low of the range. And again, I hate to bring this up, just like I say I don't want to bring up these lower prices for Solana, but I have to, right? I have a responsibility to the CandleMafia to remain unbiased, right? If I want this thing to I own Solana, right? I want this thing to go up, but I'm not just going to dump hopeless hopium into people if I think it's going lower, right? So if we don't bounce here, right, could you reclaim the POC, get back above the 786, and then send it? Maybe. But at this point, even if I were to take a long down here, reclaim the 786, I would be very careful around this value area high at about $167. right? Because this could be an area to put a lower high in and then break structure to the downside again, which would bring us into a better key level, in my opinion, to look for a long position, which would be between these two dailies and value area low confluence, sitting between next key zone on Solana that you want to have on your chart, 131 to 124, 131.79 to 124.76. This is the level to look at. If you lose this POC, very high probability we come down here, just like Bitcoin. Very high probability that if we could not hold above this POC, that we would come down to the value area low. Same thing. It's all the same stuff, just applied to different charts. And where's that lower high likely to come in at? I can't guarantee that you'll get a full push up into the value area high, right? But if we pull, let's see. Let's pull from this new low, right? So we could probably adjust this, right? So this is 786 is going to be key resistance. And yeah, I'll keep that golden pocket on the chart, but really what I want to do here is pull this golden pocket, because where is this going to be? Let's pull this, because this is going to be the most local golden pocket 786, right? So golden pocket 786 in confluence with that value area high. This is for sure a key level of resistance if we get a bounce here, because again, money flow indicates the overall trend, and the green dots and red dots indicate the ebbs and flows in the market. Red and green dots, red dot, green dot, 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 red dot. Money flow in the red indicates the overall trend. It's as simple as that, right? So sure, could your 2-day green dot give you an ebb or flow to the upside? For sure, it totally can. But I'd be very careful around this golden pocket 786 because, number one, this is a high probability area to put in a lower high and continue breaking structure to the downside, which, again, I would be targeting this, right? 131.79 down to 124.76 to fill the volume profile in full, right? And that's if you get the bounce. Because not only could you be looking at that from a money flow / Fibonacci standpoint where you'd look for the lower high and the lower low, but at the end of the day, guys, we're now accepted back into this range. So even if we get a bounce here, if we lose this lose the value area high, POC is the next likely stop. Lose the POC, value area low is the next likely stop. So if we get the bounce, I'm looking here. If we don't get the bounce, I'm 100% looking here. So it really depends on what happens, right? It's very hard to analyze this very fast move down, right? We don't even have any low time frame structure here, right? It's just kind of bing-bonging around. So if you reclaim this, sure, you could get a bounce, but I'd be very careful here. If you just dump from here, this is where I have my eyes focused. Simply put. So there we go. Beautiful to see that play out nice and technical, though. But we are now back in this range. Not the best look. But shout out to the CandleMafia, because we're making money whether price goes up or down, guys. This thing dumps, we're continuing to make money. Shout out to Jay Violet. Thank you for getting that Frank Candles membership. Welcome to the muscle, or welcome back to the muscle, Jay Violet, I should say. Let's see, bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Pennywise, everybody's favorite clown. And hey, shout out to B-Rad. Shout out to Bubba's Crypto. Hang on. Let's do that again. Shout out to Bubba's Crypto for getting those Frankie Candles memberships. Let's go. Shout out to Bubba's Crypto. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate you so much, my man. Thank you. And shout out to everybody who got a membership. Let's see. Okay, so let me jump in here real quick. Took a look at Solana. Took a look at Bitcoin. Let's take a look. We'll also take a look at Ethereum as well. Shout out to Darren Does Things. Says everybody losing their minds. Relax. This isn't a 50% dip yet. Shout out to Darren Does Things. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I know, guys, a lot of the pain's coming from the altcoins. So let me take a look at Total 3 real quick, because I know this is what a lot of people care about, right? And here we are. We just looked at this in the premium Discord. Oh, man. Total 3, guys. What did we say last week, right? This is still the TA from last week. We got the drop out of our range, right? This is our volume profile. This is our fair value. Between 932.3 billion all the way up to 1.1 trillion. This is your fair value. We got a loss of this range, big liquidation wicks, bearish retest of the value area low, and what were we looking at on Friday? I think it was literally tapped on Friday. Did this happen during the stream? No. This is Golden Pocket 786. When we were looking at this last week, you pull from the high to the low, right? Pull from the high to the low, bearish retracement into that golden pocket resistance zone to put in a lower high and eventually get the bigger drop down. This is still, I mean, this would be the whole zone. This actually moved because it's got the big drop down, right? So 786 sits here. So I would be looking at this as like the next resistance level, honestly. But, I mean, at this point, guys, Total 3, if you want your altcoins to pump, right, you got to get above this retracement, and more often, moreover than that, value area low, 931.2 billion. We got to get above this level in order to see the altcoins go. And like I said, if Bitcoin drops down, if Bitcoin drops to, say 80K, let's say the bearish case plays out, we drop down to 80K. This is a bloodbath for the altcoins, an absolute bloodbath for the altcoins. And I hold alts too, right? I don't want to get wrecked on my altcoins either. But you have to understand, a lot of people who are in altcoins right now that are panicking bought the altcoins after they pumped, right? And I'm not going to lie. I'm down on a lot of my altcoins as well. I'm either at break even, maybe I'm up on a few of them. But, if you're buying the top of the altcoins, you're really feeling the pain now. So if they really want to shake everybody out here, give some people pain who bought the top on Bitcoin, absolutely murder the altcoin market, and then send it to Pluto, right? That's max pain in my opinion. And hopefully that's the case. Hopefully we don't lose this 786 and go into a bear market. That is obviously a scenario that we could see play out. I'm not here to tell you that just because I'm not in the camp that the top is in just yet, or I don't see enough things that point to the top being in for me, does not mean that it's not, right? I don't want anyone thinking, I'm not going to sit up here and tell everybody, hold on to your bags, everybody. Never going lower, right? I would never say that, right? Because nobody knows. But that's how I'm playing it personally, and we get it right more often than we get it wrong here. So, keep in mind, total 3 very, very key levels to get above 931.2 billion, and at this point, at least get above these retracement levels, right? But at this point, we're just lower lows and lower highs. High, low, lower low, high, low, lower high, lower low, right? Not great. But again, doesn't mean that it's over. Does not mean that it's necessarily over. But again, pain is likely in this market. Bears and bulls will get wrecked. That is the one thing that you can absolutely, bet on. 2 likes for me. Shout out to Spaceland. Let's hit 2K likes, guys. Let's get it. Oh, God, we're at 1445. 650 in Solana, giving away at 2,000 likes, guys. Let's get it. 80K and send it. Shout out to Blue Green. Definitely an opportunity or a possibility, in my opinion. Ash says 80K is good. It's still way better than 15K. Yeah, shout out to that's the other thing, guys. Like, when it comes to Bitcoin, right? Like, this is not, this is not like a catastrophic event on Bitcoin, right? I know the alt's getting crushed. But, I bought my Bitcoin down here. Average entry price of, I think, 21 to 22K. I'm not tripping over this little pop to the downside. And I know, right? I obviously know not a lot of people, if you were watching our channel, I'm very open about where I was picking up, right? And exactly not only when I was picking up, but why I was picking up. But, I know a lot of people aren't in that camp. But at the end of the day, hopefully that kind of points out to you, if you are feeling the pain here, on Bitcoin specifically, it is because of where you bought, not because we're getting a massive dump. Right? Like, at the end of the day, this is really nothing that crazy, even from wick to wick. 16% dump on Bitcoin, right? Like, we've gotten worse down here, 30% dump here, right? Like, this dump here, 26% dump. This is not a catastrophic pullback, and especially not today. Like, this is not that big of a dump, right? Like, what is this, 8%? Like, what is this? Like, even from weekend... Yeah, 5%, right? Like, this is really not catastrophic. If you are feeling the pain on Bitcoin, it has more to do with where you bought in than how bearish price is. Just to make that out there. And again, don't feel bad if you bought in high on Bitcoin, right? Like, you're doing what a lot of people have done, and it takes a long time. You have to feel that pain. I was talking to someone recently in my personal life, and they were like, man, I'm just getting crushed. Like, do you think this thing is over? And I'm like, listen, man, the pain you're feeling is because I know where everybody is, I know where this person that bought in. I'm like, you're feeling the pain because you bought when things were pumping. And that's, I always tell them, like, hey, Frankie, should I buy? Everything's going up. And I'm like, wait for a pullback, right? But they always want to buy in anyway because they feel like they're going to miss out. But you have to, and I tell them, I know this is hard to feel, but sometimes you have to feel that pain a few times pretty bad to stop doing it. I know I did have to do that for sure, right? In my trading and in my investing, right? I had to buy tops and sell bottoms quite a bit before I finally figured out, like, you know what? I'm actually not even in max pain. I'm just bored of this outcome. So let me actually try to buy fear and sell greed and see if that works. And surprise, surprise, that's when I started making more money. So anyway, let's see. I have too much in alt. Shout out to Eugene Sky. Yeah, man. It is rough. I mean, and listen, guys, I'm feeling the pain on the altcoins too, right? I just have a lot of perspective. So yeah. I'm feeling the Solana pain right now. Yeah, shout out to Brights. I don't blame you. I don't blame you guys. I'm feeling the pain too. But I will say, guys, if there's a time to learn how to trade, let's pretend that the bear market is here. Let's say we're never going back up to the 100,000s, right? Which, again, I don't really necessarily fall in that camp. Again, I do think we can go lower before going back up there. But let's say this is the top. If there was a time to learn how to trade long and short Bitcoin, the time is now, right? Because if you really think that the bear market's coming in and we are here, you can make a lot of money. You can make a bunch of money on the way down, just like you do in the bull market on the way up. And you will stop looking at the market, and it almost makes you less emotional, right? Because sure, I might be getting crushed on altcoins, but I'm also profiting on this move to the downside. So if I can profit on this move to the downside and roll some of those profits in, if I think things are going to pump again, buy dip on alts with some of this profit, it's even better. So there you go. But let's see, bada boo. If BTC dominance stays high, alts never go up. Absolutely. Shout out to Jennifer. Let's see. Do you have a video to start day trading for beginners? Yeah, shout out to Hayden. Go to the beginner series. I show you exactly where to start. I show you how to start on TradingView. If you know nothing about trading, if you know nothing about technical analysis, you could start in that beginner series, watch it through, and you will learn everything. I recommend starting with the TradingView Masterclass to learn how to actually chart things, and then just work your way through that playlist. And you will go from zero to hero for absolutely free. They're not behind a paywall. It's 100% free. And I would recommend going through all the tutorials on the channel, not just the ones in the beginner series. Keep looking through all the tutorials on the channel. Don't go through those super old ones just because those are old and cringy and I can't stand to watch them. But there's still sauce in them. But go watch all the videos. It is a free trading course on this channel. All right, let's see. Yeah, shout out to Bubba's Crypto. Said, when Frankie started his channel, I felt like I saw red every day forever, but we made money. Yeah, shout out to Bubba's Crypto. Absolutely. Bubba's been here since the beginning. And again, guys, I was talking to the premium Discord today, like just talking about like potential bear market coming in, right? Which again, just for anyone who's tuning in, I don't fall in that camp yet, but just understand that doesn't mean I think we're going to yeet up from here. It means that, we could potentially see more pain, even down here. Is the bear market here? I don't know, guys. We have to assess the situation when things come down here. But I started my channel, guys, like right here. Right? Like right at the beginning of the bear market. My first call was, hey, guys, bear market incoming on that weekly blood diamond that we had popping on Market Cypher B. I'll even just pull it up real quick. Right? There's that weekly blood diamond in all of its glory. And I said, guys, this doesn't look good. At this point, all of YouTube was calling for 30K rock bottom, guys. This is the low. We put in a higher low. This is it. We're gonna super cycle. But all I could see here was bearish divergence on the weekly, bearish divergence on the monthly. More important than that, the money flow on the weekly was absolutely tanking here. And when we see that money flow cross over into the red on the weekly for Market Cypher, that is typically where we see the bear markets come in. And this is the best time to dollar cost average into the market once you get that first big drop and money flow gets into the red on the weekly. We see this happen every single cycle. Big drop down, money flow crosses over. You could buy the bottom of the bear market. I say this all the time. Bottom of the bear market, weekly money flow in the red. Bottom of the bear market, weekly money flow in the red. And then this cycle, this past bear market, we did the same thing. Big drop, weekly money flow in the red. Bottom of the bear market, accumulate, comes back into the green. Bing bong, slam it to the upside. So there you go. But yeah, that was rough time to start the channel, but all we did was make money all the way down. This was like another bull run for the CandleMafia, guys. You do not have to be a slave. If you like trading, if you want to learn how to trade, if you're even just interested, you just understand this is just as advantageous to make money as this is, right? Your spot bags aren't pumping here. So there we go. All right, let's see. Let's continue on here. So we took a look at Solana. We took a look at Bitcoin. Let's take a quick look at Ethereum. All right. I'll be honest with you guys. We actually looked at this in the premium earlier. Shout out to the premium Discord. If you guys are interested in taking your trading to the next level, it is not a signals group, but if you check out the premium Discord, I give my personal trade setups, daily analysis, and you guys can trade alongside me in the premium Discord. We do 2 live streams a week, so if you want this information before it's on the live stream and the exact trade setups with the exact confirmations that we look for to enter, check out the premium Discord. Link in the description down below. But I'm telling you right now, not a signals group. I don't tell you, hey guys, buy this right now. Okay, sell this right now. That's not how it works. What we do is I find the key levels before before we hit them, and then as we dip into those levels, I tell everybody what confirmations I'm looking for, and then I let them know if I'm entering or if I'm interested in entering based off what confirmations. So check it out. Premium link pinned above. There you go, at the top of the what is it? I almost said top of the Discord, top of the chat. There you go. But not a signals group. And if you're a beginner to trading and you don't know anything about trading, please, for the love of God, go through the YouTube channel first and learn the basics, and then when you're ready to level up, you come into the premium Discord. So there you go. And also, join the free Discord as well. If you don't have money to get into the premium, get into the free Discord, get into the dining room. Maybe I'll show that a little bit later, but get into the free Discord as well. It's a ton of value in there. There's value in being surrounded by a community doing the same thing as you. A lot of these people are probably ahead of you in their journey, and they can help guide you and help you avoid mistakes that you're very likely going to make in the beginning. So, again, if you're new here, if you're new to trading and you want to learn, start with the free stuff. You don't have to lay out money right away. So just, take that for what it's worth. But anyway, Ethereum, right? What were we looking at on ETH, guys? Looking at this as our local volume profile. Bing-bonging around, low probability trading, right? And then earlier today, we were looking at the daily here in the premium Discord. Shouting out the daily blood diamond here, saying, hey, guys, these daily blood diamonds typically give us big dumps to the downside. I mean, where were we during this? Let's see. Where were we? I think we were right here. Just bing-bonging around down here during the premium live stream, just like, hey, guys, I don't know. You have a local range here, right? I'll just pull the volume profile so you can see the actual levels, right? Pulling our local volume profile here, being like, hey, we're coming down to the value area low, but when we come up to the daily, we got that daily red dot. And that daily red dot very oftentimes gives us a big drop to the downside. So just letting them know I'm not interested in a long position within that profile. You could take one, right? But it's low probability. You have a daily blood diamond. These typically give you big drops to the downside. Even here, big drop down. Here, big drop down. Here, big drop, big drop, big drop, right? These things absolutely slam you to the downside. So you got to be careful. You got to be careful on with these daily blood diamonds. And that wound up playing out, right? Giving us the drop down to the value area low. This is a key level of support, guys, sitting at value area low at $2,500. Definitely a very, very, very key level of support to be looking at, just because it is your value area low. But I will say, in my opinion, am I interested in FOMO? Am I interested in FOMO longing this? Not necessarily. Sorry, I'm trying to fix something, guys. I'm not necessarily interested in just FOMO longing this, in my own personal opinion, because we do have some key levels down below, right? We have the golden pocket. All right, let me just scratch this. Golden pocket, 786 sitting below, right? Could we get a bounce here? Sure, right? If we check the lower time frames, you don't really even have any bullish divergences or anything like hyper locally here. Yeah, like no bull divs here, like not even on the 7-minute, like 5-minute, like you don't even really have bull divs. So, can you hold this? This is definitely a level of support. Could you bounce? Yes. Are you getting super signals that it's going to be a significant bottom? Not really, right? All these yellow X's, yeah. I don't, I would just look at this as a bounce off support. There's no real significant long signals in my own personal opinion. Doesn't mean you can't, heat up from here. But honestly, money flow on the 1 hour, crossing over into the red, 16-hour, no red dot. You have your daily blood diamond, which is now confirmed, unfortunately, 2-day red dot printing. So in my opinion here, guys, the only thing I would be looking at here, as you guys know, we've been looking at this all last week, looking at Ethereum, looks like it could potentially print a bullish divergence here, right? Technically, we do have it at the value area low. Well, we don't have it, but if we were able to print a green dot here, we would get technically a bullish divergence at the value area low. But if I'm being totally honest, I would much prefer a drop into the golden pocket or 786 to look for the long position. And at the end of the day, if that doesn't hold, and just at the end of the day, right, 2,500 key support, golden pocket at 24.22, and the 786 at 22.86 are the next key zones, right? Call it 24.29 to 22.86. That's the golden pocket 786. That's your next key level if you lose the value area low. If you lose this 786, very simply put, guys, I am looking for a much bigger drop down on Ethereum, probably all the way down to the value area low at $2,000. And I would even love a potential deviation below that range into the monthly naked point of control. So next key level, if we lose the value area low, and again, there's not a ton of confirmation as of right now for a big bounce, I'd be looking at 24.29 to 22.86. Lose the 786. I'm looking down here between 2,100 and 2,034. Very simply put. That all remains the same, right? So, yeah, that's what I'm looking at on Ethereum. Let's see. Let's see. ETH red dot on the 1 hour chart. Let's go. Let's check it. I actually don't have a red dot on the 1 hour. Is that what that says? Shout out to CJ. ETH red dot on the 1 ear chart. Yeah, I don't have a red dot on the 1 hour. Money flow crossover for sure. But yeah, I mean, once this 4 hour VWAP rolls up, maybe you get a retracement. But I'll be honest, guys. Once again, let's look at this locally. Right? If we're looking at this volume profile, if we're looking at our Fibonacci retracements, local Fibonacci retracements, I'd be really careful on the moves up. Right? You have a lot of money flow coming out here on a lot of time frames. Right? Even on the 4 hour. If you get a retracement to the upside off this value area low that we're sitting at, I'll even hide this and bring up the local profile. Right? Let's say you hold the value area low for some reason, I would be very careful of lower highs and lower lows to come in based off money flow. 4 hour green dot prints, maybe you get a push up, but I would be very careful of a situation like this. Where's that lower high likely to come in? I would probably be looking at this as an entire zone, right? 786 golden pocket, POC value area low. First high probability area to put a lower high in and continue down. If you get above that level, I'd be looking closer towards that value area high 786 retracement. Obviously, this golden pocket is still here, but there's a little bit more confluence up here around 2780. But right now, if we get a push up locally, like this is key resistance. High probability, if we get the lower high, that it will come in there. And then targeting here, right? So lose 2,500. I'm looking to 24. Once again, 24, 29 to 2286. Lose 2286. I'm looking much lower. $2,100 to $2,000, where we have liquidity and a monthly naked point of control, etc. All right, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay. If BTC does fall to the low 80s, high 70s, I'm all in again. I still have conviction we won't see those prices again. If we do, the world is likely ending. Yeah, shout out to Bubba's Crypto. So be careful. If there's a black swan event that makes it feel like the world is ending, just remember to stick to the plan and not let the FUD and the fear get into your head, because sometimes, like, remember back to 2020. Sometimes there is an event, right? Sometimes there actually is an event that feels like it's the end of the world, right? It sometimes does feel like the end of the world, right? Obviously, during 2020, there was obviously a lot of stuff going on, right? Like, that stuff was not fake. That stuff was not, made up. It was actually happening. 2K incoming. Shout out to alt-right. Send it to zero, baby. Send it to zero. But yeah, let's see. What are some key prices? Price alerts for BTC. Shout out to Pio. Go check scrub back to the Bitcoin TA. I covered all of the crushing all of the key levels I have to be watching. Let's see. 2K would be dope. Yeah, I'll be honest, guys. Set some key limit orders down at 0. Sometimes you get those scam wicks on. I don't know. Has anyone ever gotten like a scam wick fill on like a sometimes you see like they're glitches, but sometimes you get like scam wicks. They look like this. I'll even draw them on the chart so you guys can see what they look like. Like it'll literally look like this, right? Like you'll get a liquidation wick, right? Except it looks like this, right? And it just like brings you to It just brings you to absolute, like, it'll bring you to, like, like for Ethereum, right? Like, sometimes you'll see an exchange, like, glitch out and give you these crazy wicks. Has anyone ever gotten filled on one of those? I don't know. I've never gotten filled on one. But I don't know if it, like, would get ignored. Sometimes, like, if you flash through a level, like, your limit won't get filled. But, yeah, like, it doesn't hurt to have some limit orders set down at 0 in case you scam out and then just wick right back up. We've seen this happen many a times, and usually it's just like a glitch, and then you just, continue back in the right direction. All right, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Ethereum can't go under 2,400. Shout out to Demon. No, I think it could go under 2,400 for sure. Yeah, I would argue, if you lose this value area low, very likely you lose 2,400. At least come down to about 2,400 even. Lose that golden pocket. Definitely you could lose 2,400, especially with the money flow. Again, like, look at the 2-day money flow, guys. I know it takes a long time for this stuff to play out, and I know it's like really frustrating to have patience or frustrating to need patience. I mean, your money flow tried to come back up into the green, but overall, 2-day money flow looking to cross over into the red. Actually, I'll be honest. The money flow doesn't look as bad on Ethereum as it does on Bitcoin, right? Like even on Bitcoin, right? We get the lower prices. I mean, look at the daily money flow. Look at the 2-day money flow. Like this is trending out. Sometimes you have to wait for this to play out. It takes time, but more often than not, you do see those moves. But let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Nathan. Frankie Candles, homie, you should tell these dudes the importance of not following others for when to enter or exit. Learning to act independently is key to success. Yeah, shout out to Nathan. Listen, I say this all the time. If it was as easy as just having someone tell you when to enter a trade or exit a trade, everybody would be a billionaire, right? Because there would just be a signals group that everyone would join, and you could just code a bot to go off those signals. And I genuinely would never do TA ever again. I would just sit there and code the best trader ever's Discord and let them do all the work, and I would just follow their trades. If it's too good to be true, it probably is, guys. Now, you could get rich trading. You could make money trading. Don't get it twisted. But it's not as easy as just following somebody's signals. And the reason for that is because your trading discipline and your emotional discipline and risk management is so much more important than being told when to enter and when to exit. Because at the end of the day, if I say, let's pretend I had a 100% hit rate, which I don't. Nobody does, right? But let's just say, I say, hey, guys, the bottom's in here. It's 100% going up here. And I tell you to buy here and sell here. Number one, even if you bought here, chances are you're probably, number one, not going to take profit. Most people are not going to take profit when they should, because they're going to be like, oh my God, I'm making money. It's going to go up forever. And then they hold it forever, and then they get wrecked anyway. So I could be right 100% of the time, but if I tell you when to enter and exit, it has nothing to do with how profitable you're going to be. You have to understand when to cut your trade short, right? If I say enter here and it keeps dipping, you need to know when to get out of the trade, when it's invalidated. It's not as easy as having someone tell you when price is going to go up or down. I know that's not popular. I know that's not what people want to hear, but if you actually want to make money as a trader, like we do here, I show the trades live. You hear people in the Discord talking about how they love it. They're learning to actually make money trading. If you want to do that, you have to jump. You have to go into trading with the understanding that it's going to take work. You can't just watch one 5-minute tutorial on a trading strategy and long and short, a moving average or a trading pattern and make $1 billion. It's not how it works, unfortunately. But that should motivate you, because anything worthwhile, especially with a high income skill like trading with zero salary cap, where literally you can make infinite money, right? All you have to do is grow your capital. It shouldn't be hard. I mean, it shouldn't be easy, right? If it was easy, it'd be too good to be true. But the fact that it's hard and you actually have to put work in and you have to learn over time and make mistakes and lose money and pay your market tuition, the fact that it's not easy and not a get-rich-quick scheme should motivate you, because it means it's legit, right? Trading is not a scam. Getting rich on someone's signals or getting rich off just some indicator telling you when to buy is a scam. I use indicators, but I don't use them as a buy or sell signal. We take all these things and we gather multiple confluences that point in the same direction, and we put the probabilities in our favor. The faster you understand that nobody knows, not even me, nobody knows 100% where this price is going to go, the faster you're going to wind up making money. You have to anticipate the bullish case, the bearish case, and then figure out what confluences are pointing towards, and then that will put the odds in your favor. And even when the odds are in your favor, you're still going to get stopped out. So you have to manage that risk. So absolutely, do not rely on anybody when to enter or exit, right? That's like, even in the premium Discord, I don't tell you buy here, sell here. I tell you what I'm looking at as far, let's say I have a long position right here. I will tell you if price comes to this level and I also see these specific entry confirmations, I'm going to take a shot at the long position. I'm going to be targeting this level. But we don't know if we're going to get into that level, so we're going to take partial take profit at local resistance levels and move our stop loss into profit, protecting us along the way. Locking in profit here, stop loss to break even. Once you do that, you're in a guaranteed winning trade. If it stops you out, you get stopped out in profit, right? I'm in that situation right now. I don't just talk about this, right? We put our money where our mouth is. Look at this short position right now. Up now $4,600 now, right? If this were to get stopped out, and I'm probably going to move this stop loss down a little bit, but I am stop loss in profit, right? So if this wound up pumping back up and stopping me out, I'll get stopped out in profit, and I will make money, right? Regardless of when I lose the trade. But if I don't know when to get out of the trade or when to move my stop loss, you're trading blind, right? So this is a guaranteed winning trade. And I'm probably going to move the stop loss down again just to continue to, lock in profit. So if I get stopped out, I'll make even more money. But what this does is it gives me a guaranteed winning trade while also not limiting, right? If I move my stop loss down a little bit more, right? this is now I'm going to get stopped out for even more profit, right? So if I get stopped out, I have $600 locked in already, and if I get stopped out, I'm going to make more money, right? So it's just stacking those profits. And if you don't know how to manage the risk, and not only does this help me protect myself, right? Because I'm not going to lose the trade at all. This is literally a guaranteed winning trade. If price rips, I make money. If price dumps, I make more money, right? But I'm keeping the opportunity open. If we keep making lower highs and continuing lower, I'm going to continue to profit on this trade. And if it absolutely slams to the upside, because we know that can happen out of nowhere. Everything could be bearish, and one day we could just rip up. If that happens, I'm still making money, right? But this takes time to learn. And not only take time to learn, it takes time to put into practice and get it right. Right? You're gonna try. You're gonna move your stop loss, and I don't mean in the good way. I mean in the bad way. Price is gonna go against you. You're gonna move your stop loss further away from price, so you don't get stopped out because you don't want to lose the trade. But that's how you're gonna lose your money. Do not hunt signals. Could not. Thank you for saying that. I think Nathan said that. Let him cook. Speaking facts. Shout out to the Fibinator, bro. I love that. I love that. I love that name, bro. But that is very, very important. And like, it isn't popular for people to want to hear this, because most people just want to hear, tell me if it's going up or down or when to buy and sell. And I could probably just pretend to know 100% and tell people that, and I would probably get 1 million subscribers, but no one would make money. Right? So I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in actually teaching people how trading actually works and how to do it with actual risk management, actual strategies, and actually replace your job. Maybe you don't like your job. You want to be a trader, right? It's going to take time. You're not going to do it in a week. You're not going to do it in a month. You're not going to, probably not even going to do it in a year, to be honest. It's going to take time. You're going to have good weeks, bad weeks. You're going to get frustrated. You're going to get discouraged. But at the end of the day, you have to put in that work. And if you do, I promise you, it'll be the most rewarding thing in your life. I promise you that. But anyway, let's continue on here. The richest people in Dubai don't use buy and sell signals. Absolutely. Hey, listen, guys, if it was that easy, right, I would just buy the best buy and sell signal and just set up a bot, and I would just go lay on a beach and do nothing, right? I probably wouldn't do that because it'd be boring. Probably go drive cars and race around or something. But yeah, absolutely, that is the case. But if you want to learn how to actually trade, and you want to learn how to do it the right way and put in work, and you're willing and you really want to make money, and you have the discipline and the wherewithal to actually put in work and change your life. And it will be hard, but you understand hard things come with a benefit, and you're in the right place. Subscribe to the channel. Now, you don't have to join the premium Discord right now, at least. Just come here. Subscribe to the channel. It's all free value. I'm here every single weekday, and I teach this every weekday. Forget about the tutorials. I'm here live every day talking about this stuff. So there you go. And you guys get my live TA every day too, so you have an idea of what I'm looking at anyway. But anyway, let's continue on. It takes a year to learn. Shout out to Hayden. I'm still learning, right? I sometimes see things that I'm still learning, right? I didn't always incorporate anchored VWAPs as much as I do, right? I've always used them, but I never use them as much as I do, and now I am. I'm learning still to this day. I still make mistakes to this day. And I'm 7 years in. 7 years is rough, right? Because in the beginning, I wasn't really doing it seriously. But I've been learning TA forever, right? I never stop learning. So at the end of the day, technically, you're going to be learning forever. But yeah, you're not going to get rich or become a profitable trader in 2 weeks. It's not how it works. Unfortunately, I wish it did, right? I would have had a much easier time. But it's definitely possible. All right, let's see. All right, so let's see. Let's actually check in on Bitcoin here real quick as we got a little bounce. A little dump, a little bigger of a dump. Okay, so we came down. Yeah, we're just playing around with this wick. Let me check the 1 hour here. We get the 30-minute. Let me just mark this out real quick. So we came down to this wick. Bada boom. Just bring this over a bit. Come on. Dang it. All right, let's see here. Just make sure I'm on this wick. So we have this wick, and the reason I'm looking at this wick, guys, because this is the next area where we have a significant amount of liquidity. And we did just SFP. Let me see here. Did we get any low time frame divs? 3-minute SFP. Let me check out XO charts real quick. Shorts. Oh, yeah. Shorts are piling in right now. Longs are wrecked. Shorts are piling in. Big liquidation on that move down. Did get the 30-minute SFP here. Green dot about to print on the 30-minute. Yeah, we might be able to bounce here a little bit, if I'm being honest. could potentially bounce. Yeah. And again, I wouldn't necessarily say that's the absolute bottom. I wouldn't necessarily say this is going to yeet us up to a bazillion dollars. But could give you a continued rotation to the upside locally. Because again, money flow is going to be king here, right? But yeah, nice little swing failure pattern there. And again, like it is on a drop of the longs, a drop of the open interest, showing that a lot of the longs did get kicked out of the market. So that's could get a push up here locally. I'll show you what I would target here if we do get the bounce. I mean, I would be pretty conservative right now because of that big dump. 93.6. What does that give us? About a 2% pump. Let's see if we can get it back into this golden pocket retracement. I'll put an alert there in case we do get the bounce. And yeah, we'll see what happens here. We'll see if that'll hold. I mean, we don't really. Yeah, I mean, these divs aren't really that nice. I don't know. I'll be honest. Like, you got a bunch of double green dots here. I don't really use these double green dots that much, but when you get a bunch of them in a row like this, sometimes it does mark a bottom, right? Like, even here, you have like 3 in a row as you continue down and you wound up getting a push up. Yeah, we could potentially get a little bit of a bounce here. But again, I mean, let me pull up the key levels real quick. Pull up the... Oh, yeah. I actually probably should be looking at this wick because this is the Bybit chart. Let me see. Probably got it here, too. Let me check the 30-minute wick. Boom. Did we get the 30-minute SFP? Yeah, it's actually nicer. Yeah. What is that? 91.17. Almost about 90, almost like 91K. Hang on one sec. Let me pull up the heat map real quick here, guys. What is that? 91K. Where's the local heat map? Let me refresh here. Yeah, there's honestly not a lot of like visible liquidity down there, to be honest. Doesn't mean that we can't continue up, but yeah, there's like no. I have to pull up a higher time frame. Let me check the 1 month. That's the 7-day, 3 month. Yeah, the 1 month. Let me refresh it real quick. All right, let me see here. Yeah, I mean, we did flush. Like, honestly, the flush of liquidity happened here. We had a lot of liquidity below this low. That caused the drop to the downside. This is, it's not, at least on the heat map, there's not a lot of visible liquidity below 91K, like directly below 91K. It really starts to pick up at 89K, which is closer to this wick. So I'll be honest, guys, like, could you get a short-term retracement? I mean, you're kind of coming into the value area low. So, I'd be careful around this key value area low. But at the end of the day, like, we did SFP this, so it could give you a bounce, but there's not a lot of cool liquidity down here. We also, like, this isn't what I like to see. I like to see a big wick and then a reclaim. We don't really have that, right? We just kind of peaked below it. But I will say this. The bigger area of liquidity, number one, was this wick, which we did not SFP, and a bigger wick down here at 89K, which obviously we have not come down to yet. So I would be careful. I would be careful with the bounces from here. Local bounce, sure. Huge move, I don't know about that. So there you go. But let's continue on here. Let me pull up chat real quick. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to TDK. Say, could we just be creating the daily wick and then follow through back to the downside to the 80s? Yeah, potentially. Shout out to TDK. Let's see. Yeah, shout out to Nathan. Said Asia opening soon. We will see some kind of a move. Yes, very likely, very likely. Yeah, shout out to Zoom. Absolutely, that's what we were looking at before. Liquidations of the shorts. I'm sorry, liquidation. Yeah, liquidations of shorts at 93K. Like people who were shorting at 93K. Could check the liquidity above 93K, potentially. Let's take a look. I'm going to have to pull up the 12-hour for this one. Yeah, I mean, it's not visible, at least on a significant time frame. Let me check the 1 day, maybe. Yeah, I don't really see a lot of liquidity sitting up there. I'd have to check the levels. Hang on. Let me update this, and then we'll take a look. I'll take a look at some of the altcoins, guys. A lot of them are going to be very, very similar, so I'm not going to spend too much time on them. So yeah, let me see if I can show you where those liquidations are sitting. So yeah, above 92,226. So yeah, if you take a look here, right, above, really sitting right here. These are high leverage liquidations. 92,250 is where you have like the next significant liquidity. So, you know, come up above 92,250, might be able to get the squeeze. Break these highs here at about 92.8. Could give you another little push up, and then you have a little void in liquidity. And then you'd really have to start pushing into about 93.3 to come take the rest of them, which would pull you up to about 94K, almost 93.9 to almost 94K, which would bring you, yeah. Let me pull the fib one more time. Yeah, I mean, you do have local liquidity. Again, I wouldn't take this to the, I wouldn't come up here, squeeze them, maybe squeeze the shorts into this golden pocket 786 between 94.5 and 95K. But again, I'd manage that risk very tightly, because if you can't get back above this value area low, if we just keep getting aggressive selling, could lose it. But at this moment, right, like we're below the value area. So in my opinion, this is technically undervalued. In my opinion, I like to see some consolidation to get some real entry triggers. Sure, you could long the SFP. I may or may not have. But this would be in anticipation of a, lackluster push to the upside. Remember, like just because you get a little push up here does not change the overall context of things. So keep that in mind. So anyway, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Sobs that pinned my next comment. Hey, let's go. Shout out to Rob. Yo, Rob, I like this, bro. Going and grabbing that alt list. Replace pinned message. All right, so there we go. Thank you, Rob. I appreciate you for that, brother. XRP, Litecoin, and ADA. Let's take a look at them. Also, guys, don't forget. I know I mentioned the Discord, but if you want to get a free trial to the Discord, it's I do this. I post in here every single day or every weekday, pretty much. If something crazy happens on the weekend, I'll post. But I post in the premium Discord every single weekday. And if you come into the dining room, right? If you're in the free Discord, come on over to the dining room, click unlock access. You do have an opportunity to come on in here and get into the dining room, which gives you a premium TA channel where we share one premium post per week. Sometimes it's TA, sometimes it's a trade setup. Really depends on the week. But if you want to come in there, right? I don't want to leak the latest one, but if you come in here, we do drop a premium post once per week. So you can come in here if you want to see how we work in the premium Discord. We never kick you out of here. It's an endless free trial. All you have to do is come to unlock access. And if you sign up with any of our affiliate links on any of the exchanges, you can get on in here. Just read these instructions, type in your user ID here for whatever exchange, and then you will get access not only to the premium TA, but we also have a bunch of other channels here full of value, and it's 100% free, especially if you're already on our affiliate links. So go check that out. And also, added benefit, if you sign up for Blowfin, where's the announcements? We do still have a promo here going with Blowfin. Bada boom, 15% cash back in the form of a trading bonus. So you basically get free money depending on how much you deposit. You will get a trading bonus in the form of USD, right? Or you can't just immediately withdraw it. They're not just going to give you a free $100, but they give you a free $100 to trade with, and any profit you make on that, you can absolutely keep. So check that out. I don't know how many spots we have left, but I think we do still have a bunch of spots left. So go check that out. And yeah, it'll also give you access to the dining room if you want to check out how we do the premium. But let's go ahead. Is the dump over? Shout out to Fizzy Busy. Shout out to you, bro. I am not convinced. I think a local pullback to the upside could be in the cards. But again, I would be very careful of a lackluster retracement for lower highs and breaks of structure to the downside. So just be careful out there. Be careful out there. Not that you can't long these little SFPs, but again, I'd rather see like strong bullish divergences with a big wick down below and big visible liquidity, which again, we don't have a lot of visible liquidity down here. We do have liquidity, but it's not that hot, right? We have a bigger spot of liquidity down at 89K. So you just got to be careful. So yeah. Let's see. Okay, let's continue on. Shout out to Young Money. Shout out to Young Money. He says, Franklin, can you please dive into Aerodrome, please, and show key liquidation? Shout out to Young Money. Yes, I will try to take a look at Aerodrome. I'm gonna run through the list really quick, and then we will go ahead and try to take a look at Aerodrome for you, brother. Let's see. Okay, so let's continue on. Frankie, tonight might be an all-nighter. Shout out to Almighty. Maybe. Shout out to Wick589 in the chat. What is going on, bro? Welcome in. All right, let's continue on. Shout out to J. Cole, also in the chat. Big fan, Jay. Big fan. But anyway, let's continue on here. Let's take a look at XRP. Is it going to zero, or is it going to blast up to $1 million? Now, as you guys know, we've been looking here at XRP. And to be honest, guys, oh, man, we front ran that wick. All right, well, this is Bitstamp. Let me actually take a look here. We'll take a look at the key levels first. Let me get rid of this golden pocket real quick. Boom, boom. So, yeah, as you guys know, once we got stuck inside this value area high, we were looking for a move down to the POC 786. That was our next likely place for price to go. We couldn't hold the golden pocket. You look to go to the 786. Once you lose the 786, this is where we look for the bigger drop down to the bigger key level, which, again, I felt crazy looking at. But here we are, approaching the key level, which is the golden pocket, value area high, value area low, sitting between 217 and 212. 786 sitting down below at about $2. That's worth noting. But yeah, I mean, you're now back within your volume profile, right? We get down in here, couldn't hold in, couldn't break it. And we even looked at this lower high on Thursday as we pushed up. We looked for that high probability lower high for a break of structure to the downside, bringing us to that POC, and we're now lost that POC, so we could potentially come down to this value area low. We obviously did not hold the POC golden pocket, so I would probably prefer to come into this golden pocket between 217 and 213. Unless you were looking at price, let me pull up a different XRP chart real quick. Let's take a look at the Tether perpetuals. So, if I were looking at this local range, yeah, I mean, this is not something I would really love. I would probably be more inclined. Yeah, so you did sweep the lows here. Yeah, and you barely front ran these lows. So let me see something real quick. See this low right here. Yeah, we did just SFP this low. So, again, green dot on the 1 hour prints could give you a little bit of a push to the upside here, if I'm being honest. But I don't know. I would probably just stick to the bigger key levels, right? Like for me personally, like if we bounce here, great. But to be quite honest, I would rather wait for the bigger level, which would be the golden pocket value area low between 217 and 214. So that's really what I'm looking at, right? Bada boom. So, maybe we get a local bounce. Maybe we don't. But if we do, I would probably be pushing up into that POC. I'd be very careful there for a push back down to the low. Get above the POC. Look at the value area high. But at this point, right, money flow in the red. Let's check the daily. Daily red dot and money flow. Red dot confirm money flow crossover into the red. 2-day, kind of flat. So, yeah, I mean, again, I wouldn't really consider this like a huge collapse or anything. Like, you're just back within your range. But, yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see if you get that push down to the value area lows. Here's your next key level. Key level of resistance, POC 786 between 241 and 239. All right, let's see. Yo, shout out to Dude. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for gifting the Frankie Candles membership. Let's go. Shout out to D3W, or Do, as I like to call him. Gifting those memberships. Shout out to Almighty K. K Diggity snuck a chat in there. Shout out to Ido. Shout out to Bailey Miller, Monoki. I don't know how to say that. Rins. Shout out to you guys. You got a free membership. So let's get it, baby. I want another 5 Frankie Candles memberships. Let's go. Dude gifting it out. Dude just out here like, yo, let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's give it all away to the Mafia. Let's get it. Shout out to Dude, bro. Thank you so much. But let's go ahead and make a shout out to MC, Star Dog. Who else got one? Adam Davis. Shout out to Frank Fit for Life Crypto. Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to the fellow Frankies out there. Shout out to CJ. Let's go. We got new Mafia members. Let's get it. Yeah, shout out to Taking Care of Business. Said if you pull the real crypto guys, we're all bullish. Everyone is bullish. We are all wanting to buy. So ask yourself, where is all the selling coming from? Crypto lifers were so bullish. Yeah, shout out to Taking Care of Business. I would agree. Until we see Bitcoin, I mean, overall, right? Like, obviously not bullish like directly here, as we are short from the highs here. However, I will say, wait until we get the bigger drop down. Wait, if we get this move down, that's where we're really going to be kind of alone and bullish. But yeah, until this bullish market structure breaks, at least on Bitcoin here, like, this is a bull market. This is a bullish trend, bullish market structure until we really start breaking down here. Even if we come to the golden pocket, that's a healthy retracement in my opinion, and I am still even bullish down here. Unless there's things on the chart calling for much lower prices at these lows, I would say I am definitely bullish. But people have a hard time with that because when you first get into crypto and you buy altcoins, because no one wants to wait for the Bitcoin gains, or they're not big enough for the Bitcoin gains are not big enough. They all jump into altcoins, not in random moments, right? Not understanding that they're buying the top, and then they get all this massive pain, right? So and just remember, guys, I'll say it here again. If we get the bigger pullback on Bitcoin into the 80,000s, the altcoins are likely to get absolutely slapped. That does not mean that the bear market is here. Like, this is, I know, again, altcoins are slapped, but this is like, this pullback on Bitcoin is not bearish. This is still very, very bullish market structure. We are in a bull run, 100%. That is not arguable. So that's where I stand. I am bullish as well in the long term, but I have to be very careful, right? Because I am bullish. But that does not mean that we cannot dump down here. If we dump down there, I'm still bullish, right? So yeah, it's really it's like, that's what you mean, right? Like, when the retail comes in, that's really who feels the pain, right? Because they usually come in on the pumps. But let's see. BTC governs all cryptos, absolutely. But let's continue on here. Let's take a look at Litecoin. Wow, we don't really take a look at Litecoin very often, but we'll take a look at it here. Let's see. Let me see. I think we have to have a Litecoin. I think we have a Litecoin chart. What is this? That's the Bybit chart. All right. So, yeah, here's the. I don't even think this is our full Litecoin chart. I think we have another one as well. But I'll look at this one for now, right? So, volume profile here, major volume profile. I mean, can't say it enough, guys. Deviation above the highs, deviation above the highs, deviation above the highs, deviation above the highs. This is where we look for shorts. Deviations below the lows is where we look for the longs. Longs, 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 longs. Shorts, short, short, shorts. Now, obviously, we are looking for those shorts to continue us from above the volume profile down to the POC, down to the value area low, and vice versa, back above the POC, back into the value area high, deviation above. So, yeah, I mean, at this point, right, you're back inside your range. You got the deviation above. You even had your bearish confirmations. Higher highs on your price action, lower highs on your momentum waves. Woo! Back into the range on your way to that POC. I will say this. I 2-day red dot printing. No blood diamond, I don't believe. Let's double check that. Yeah, no blood diamond. Yeah, 12-hour money flow, 10-hour money flow, all kind of coming out. 8-hour. Actually, I'll be honest, like, Litecoin money flow holding up pretty good, to be honest with you. 4-hour money flow now just starting to cross over into the red. I mean, in terms of this volume profile overall, right, let's pull from the liquidation wick low. Pull our fib here, liquidation wick low all the way to the high here. Yeah, so, I mean, next key level of support, at least if we continue down, is going to be value area low, golden pocket, POC confluence. Nice levels to have confluent here. You also have a daily level down here, which I will mark out. I know I'm going like lightning speed here, but we got to be quick. We got to be quick, especially in crypto. Let's mark that off, horizontal daily, come back up. So you got your daily, your POC. You have a weekly in there as well. I'm sure you do. You do. Actually, it's a tapped weekly, so I won't mark it out. But yeah, I would say this is your next key zone of support. If you continue down, which, again, money flow here, 5-hour, 4-hour, all this looking to cross over into the red. I would say, you know, if we can get, let's pull from the high to the low here. Let's see here. Whoops. So, yeah, we do have confluence here. I would be careful, number one, around the value area high golden pocket I'll mark this out so you can grab these. Between $123 and $127. Golden pocket, 786 value area high. Get that continuation up. I'd be very careful in here, right? So if that green dot prints on the 5 hour, I don't even know if you're going to be lucky enough to get that big of a move up. But if you did, I'd be very careful for lower highs and lower lows to come in there. If you get the lower low, this is your next major key level to the downside, is sitting down here between 102.95 and 97.96. Hopefully we don't have to go see that. I can argue that locally here, I wouldn't necessarily always look at a range like this. Yeah, you're losing this. So I would be careful. I would be careful here. This volume profile, you're at the low. So this is what I would look at. Macro value area high 127.16. POC 102.86. Value area low $98. If I grab all of this and I put it in a folder and I label it macro range, I would also be looking at this. Let me just see where all these, what all this other stuff is. Oh, yeah, these are our bigger ranges. So I'll hide this, right? Another thing you can potentially look at, it's a bit hard. It's a bit hard if I'm being honest. But if you pull this little local range right here, this context is not too bad. Value area low, which is kind of what you just bounced off of. Again, I would take this with a grain of salt. I'd be paying attention to, to the bigger levels personally, but locally, you are at a value area low. But again, that bigger range with the money flow is more pointing towards more downside, right? Maybe you get a local pull up, but I would look for the lower highs and the continuations down if I'm being quite honest with you. Yeah, and you see that value area high is the same. So yeah, maybe you get a little bounce here if you get the medium time frame green dots. And if you did come up here, I would look for lower highs and lower lows, if I'm being quite honest. And then bigger support, obviously going to be lower down here on your macro range, value area low right in this zone. So that's what I'd be looking for Litecoin. We'll see what happens. I'm even going to mark out this local range so we know what we're looking at next time we pull it up. Local range. Bada boom. And there we go. That's what I'd be looking at on Litecoin. Let's see. All right, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay, so let's take a look at Cardano. Cardano in the chat. Let's get it. Drop those ADAs in the chat. Where's the what do they call what does ADA call their community? Cardano gang, Cardano crew. All right, let's take a look at Cardano. I think a hand smelling is in order. Mrs. Candles! Mrs. Candles! Mrs. Candles always wonders what I'm doing. Mrs. Candles always thinks that she always comes up here to make sure I'm okay because she hears a lot loud banging. When things get crazy here, guys, things get crazy. All right, let's continue on. What are we looking at? Let's take a look at Cardano. Bada boom, bada bing. And look at that, guys. Funny enough, Cardano is back at a key level that we've been looking at for 2,500 years. Yo, let's go. Shout out to Dan D. Shout out to Jesse. Dropping those Mrs. Candles hands in the chat. Mrs. Candles hands in the chat to pump the price up, guys. Let's get it.
AOJ.
Can we pump the price? Let's go. Cardano. Shout out to James TV. Shout out to you, bro. Frankie Candles emoji, nose emoji, hand emoji is criminal. Shout out to Route the Crypto Snob. All right, let's go. Creighton C in the chat. What is going on, bro? Welcome in. Long time no see, Creighton. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. All right, let's see. Should we just, you know what? Mrs. Candles in the flesh isn't coming. Let me go ahead and do a quick Mrs. Candles rubber hand sniff.
Can we get some ratchet one time?
Look, I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop. I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the please.
Anyway, let's continue on. I am lit tired. Shout out to Alex. Let's see. Gotta hit the buy button to pump the price. Let's go. Shout out to Daniel T. Pump that thing. Pump that thing. Mrs. Candle's looking a little deflated today, guys. I'm not going to lie. Even her foot. Should we start smelling Mrs. Candle's feet? Low key? Yeah, she's not looking good today, guys. I'm going to have to blow her up. Oh, yeah, she's not looking, she doesn't feel pretty today, she says, so she's just going to show the back of her head, which is just as pretty as the front of her head. Anyway, all right, let's continue on here. This ain't a rubber doll stream, guys. This is a crypto stream. But anyway, here we are here, back at the value area high. This is key support for Cardano, guys. If we get below this, very similar to Solana, right? If we get below this, we're probably going to be looking down towards that POC. And if we pull our key Fibonacci levels from the wick low here all the way up to the high, you can see Golden Pocket POC confluence sitting right here. So I can't guarantee that we're coming down there just yet, but, you know, I would say money flow crossover into the red. I'll say this. We are pretty oversold on a lot of these time frames. Money flow is in the red, though. 8-hour money flow, still in the red. VWAP coming up. 12-hour money flow in the red. Daily money flow, been in the red. Potential, you know, again, very similar to Ethereum. Breakdown into the Golden Pocket POC, you know, could look for longs as we approach that Golden Pocket point of control. We lose that POC, 786, honorable mention at about 57 cents. Once you lose 57 cents, I'm looking to come fill that wick down at about 51 cents. So this is 100% the context I'd be looking at. Could you get a bounce here locally off the value area high? Yes. Very similar to Solana, right? We came down to that value area high. We could have bounced. We did. But it really just continued to the downside, right, based off our money flow. 2-day money flow is crossing over into the red. Take a look at Cardano, right? 2-day money flow coming out, right? Not in the red just yet, but it is coming to the downside here, which is not the best look, if I'm being honest. So, yeah, let's see. 3-day red dot printing. 4-day no red, just rejected at the 0 line. 6-day rejected. Weekly rejected. Monthly red dot incoming. So, yeah, I mean, again, a lot of these altcoins are chopped up after these big liquidations. But, yeah, like for me, I would be waiting if we get accepted into this range. I'm looking down Golden Pocket, POC, potential 786 tap. Lose that 786. That's your doorway to 50 cents, 51 to 50 cents to the value area low. So, again, just using that volume profile as our guide to where price will likely go next. We have confluence on the POC, Golden Pocket. And again, honorable mention at the 786, lose that, probably headed down to 50 cents to 51 cents. Key zone of resistance was never really hit here. We kind of just, very similar to Ethereum, like very similar. So yeah, I would just be letting this kind of work itself out. You could technically pull a new range here. If you pull it from the wick low all the way to your current price action, you have a local volume profile if you're looking for scalps. If we do bounce off, and again, like what would I like to see here? I want to see nice bullish divergences. We don't have them, even on the lower time frames, right? Like 5 minute, you know, sure, you have some bull divs, but they're not that beautiful, to be honest with you. So, you know, if we do bounce here, at least you have some local context of saying, hey, if we do bounce, key level of resistance number 1, 70 cents, value area low. Once you get above that, we could potentially look to go to the POC, flip the POC. You could potentially look for a full rotation of that range, right? Nice guide to price action to the upside. So you can look at this. I'll even mark this out so you guys can copy the levels. Come on. See, value area low, POC, value area high. So, you know, we'll see. Again, I would much prefer to see like significant bullish divergences here, right? So even if we kind of wiggle around, boom, boom, right? And then you have a nice bull div here, something on the 15-minute, money flow coming up. That's where I think you would reclaim. So I'd be careful on the bounces right now. But you are at support, right? I wouldn't necessarily, if I were looking for a short here, I would not be shorting right now. You do not want to short when after price gets a huge dump, right? You want to short up here. And like, I don't just say that, right? Like if we come up to Bitcoin, right? What do? Are we shorting down here? Absolutely not. We are looking for longs down here. May or may not have already taken a long. I don't know. But we short as price comes up. This is where we're looking for shorts. This is where we're looking for shorts. And in this case, we are short from both those levels, right? We do not short when price dumps. This is how you get wrecked. All the shorts pile in, they squeeze them out, right? You do not want to short here. You want to wait for the retracement. And even on that short, in the short entry that I have right here, guys, just to show you, I missed the top here, right? Because there was no clear signal. But what I did do was I waited for the pullback and the retracement up, and I entered in on the retracement back up, right? I don't have to FOMO in at the bottom as it's dumping, because that's where you get stopped out, and you're like, oh, dang, I lost the trade, dang it. Screw it. I guess it's going to go up. And then it just goes down, right? So what do? Let price move, right? Let price pull back. Let price come down. Let it do its thing, right? Wait for the bounce. Find your high probability area where the lower high is likely to come in, and that's where you look for your entry. Look to enter on the golden pocket 786. That's what I did. Waited for the retracement. Looked for the entry here. Got a nice high entry instead of entering here and getting stopped out. I was patient, waited for the entry here, and now that's played out, obviously, very, very well. So there you go. That's what I would be, just keep that in mind. Don't get overly bearish at support, right? Again, even though I'm still potentially anticipating further downside, I would not be shorting at right here, right? I would rather wait to come into a key retracement level, which, funny enough, comes right in on that value area low of this range. Let's go ahead. Shorts, right? If we put in a local lower high, this would be the first place I'd look to do it. If you don't get accepted back into the range and go up, right, and you come in, and again, this is a high probability area to put a lower high in. The first one at that. It is local, but it is the first place where you're likely to put in an aggressive lower high for the continuation of the downtrend. Right? So if we come up here, we get those bearish confirmations, we can't reclaim that value area low, that could be where you get the drop down and then come back down into the POC golden pocket confluence down below. So that's what I'd be looking at here on Cardano. Kind of giving me like the Solana type vibes, to be honest. Right? Get bounce up, lackluster lower high, back into the range, back down to the POC golden pocket, or POC 786 in this case. So there you go. That's what I'd be looking at on Cardano, guys. I wish you guys could see my hair right now, guys. I haven't gotten a haircut in quite some time. Doing something different with my hair, guys. I'm sick of my haircut, so I'm going to try something fresh. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll just shave it all off. Let's see. Who's coming out for drinks after the stream? Shout out to Erica. I'll meet you there. Same place? Are we going to the same place? What is it? I wanted to say the Krusty Krab, but I meant to say, what is the name of the place in Family Guy? The clam? Something the clam? I don't know. What is it called? Somebody tell me the bar in Family Guy. I forget what it is. We'll meet you there. But anyway, guys, let's see. How much time do we have here? Let's take a look at Aerodrome real quick. All right, yeah, we're going a little bit late here, but hey, we got when we got the moves on Bitcoin, we gotta make the content here. You gotta keep everybody. Yo, Frankie with a perm. Shout out to Blacksmith, dude. Honestly, at this point, bro, like I would get a perm right now. I don't care. I would lose a bet if I lost that. I would put that. I'd be like, all right, hey, if this doesn't happen, I'll get a perm. What the heck do I care? It'd be hilarious. I don't think that's it. The Drunken Clam. Okay, yeah, shout out to Satoshi Stacker. Let's go. The Drunken Clam? Yeah, Drunken Clam. Yeah, shout out to Creighton. I heard perms are the new thing. Are they? I don't know. I'm going to go to the barber. I'm just going to be like, yeah, give me what the cool kids have. Give me what the cool kids have. But anyway. Let's continue on here. Drunken Clam. Yeah, shout out to Pedro. So, yeah, everybody's meeting at the Drunken Clam after tonight. Bring your gains from the short from key resistance on the live stream, guys. And I'll still pay for drinks, but just bring your profit. We'll all just do money spreads, right? We'll just sit at the Drunken Clam and we'll just do our money spreads. Oh no, Mrs. Candles is gonna kill me. She's gonna have to pick all that up. Shout out to Tony D giving me the emoji. That's what I think of. I think of Stinky from Hey Arnold when I see that emoji. Shout out to Tony. I don't know, Tony. You could come too, obviously, if that's what you're doing. You don't need an invite. Meet you there. Shout out to Nitro. I'll see you guys there. Money spread, giggity. But anyway, let's take a look at Aerodrome real quick. Let's see. Coinbase. I think, yeah, this is our chart. And look at that, guys. Would you look at that? Would you look at that, laddie? He said, oh, I said Drunken Clam first. Frank said whoever gets it first gets a Lambo, right? Shout out to Tony D. Yeah. You want the Revuelto, the Temerario? What do you want? They came out with all the new ones now, so of course, yeah. You're getting a Gallardo. You're getting a Gallardo, Tony. Sorry, we got to keep it on a budget. We're giving away Solana today. Unbelievable. We're going broke for the Mafia and Tony's Lamborghini Gallardo. But anyway, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. If you get a quick chance, look at Sui or Ando. Shout out to Grandmaster Ape. Yeah, we will try. Yeah, Hot Wheels Lambo. Shout out to Blacksmith. But anyway, let's take a look here. So, Cardano, here we go, right? If you don't hold above the 786 value area high, where are we going to look to go, guys? POC of the range, sitting right here. It's not necessarily labeled, but it is indeed the POC of the range. Our value area low is sitting here at about 50 cents, right? So, yeah, 67 cents is the point of control. We do have some potential higher hourly time frame bullish divergences looking to form here. We could see if we can get that bounce into the value area high and then maybe get out of here. But to be quite honest with you, we need to keep in mind the higher time frame perspective. 2-day red dot printing, money flow crossover into the red. Daily money flow also in the red. 3-day money flow now crossed over into the red with a fresh red dot. I would be careful here. Short-term bounces, as I've said, we are pretty oversold here. So short-term bounces are not impossible. But I will say the favorable positions to be in, like I said, you know, we like to be short on the pumps, right? I'm not short on Aerodrome, but we like to be short on the pumps, guys. You don't want to be looking for shorts at this move down, right? Like at this point, if you're looking for a short on Cardano, like this is not the best place to do it, in my opinion, right? You're at support. You've already gotten a big drop down. You're likely going to get some kind of retracement up. So, you know, again, 2-day, 3-day, 4-day. Red dots, 5-day money flow in the red. So I would be careful here. Any bounce to the upside, as far as money flow goes, I would be anticipating lackluster retracement, lower highs, and continuations down. Where is that lower high likely to come in at? Well, let me get rid of this support box because we didn't hold this, right? We did get the bounce, but didn't hold it. So, yeah, I mean, you are at support here. I don't love taking massive longs at a POC, but it's not impossible to bounce here. So if we did, where would that likely lower high come in at? I mean, the aggressive one would definitely be the value area high, right? So just looking at this from a volume profile perspective, right? Once you get accepted back into a range, POC is very likely. Hopefully this is proof that that is the case, right? But once you break down below that POC, we could look for a move down to that value area low at 50 cents. But until then, I wouldn't be surprised if you get some kind of a small bounce, on that POC. I mean, there's not even really that strong a confluence for that to happen, right? Like I don't even really see significant bullish divergences. You have a little bull div here on the 12-minute, little bull div here on the 15-minute, slight, very, very slight. But if it did give you a move up, I'd be anticipating lackluster pushes to the upside into the fib zone before putting in lower highs and continuing down. You could also potentially, if you don't get the strong move up, you could potentially, remember, you can reject these local fibs as well, right? You have another local fib here at about 70 cents, right? And just you can pull this to your local swing highs. But for the most part, this is where I would be looking at it. Significant swing high to the low. Even if you wanted to look at this one, 786 is still intact here. So maybe this would probably be the more tangible retracement to look at. So between about 78 to 75 cents, maybe you get a bounce up there, but I would definitely be cautious. Get the green dots on the medium hourly time frames. That's where, 4-hour green dot, maybe you get that little bounce, but I'd be careful for something like this based off money flow. And then once you lose that, I'm probably looking for a bigger drop down here. It kind of stinks because that next value area low is pretty low at 50 cents. We could find local levels of support if we do break that POC, but that's technically the next big level at about 50 cents. So there we go. That's what I would be looking at on Aerodrome. So there we go. That is, let me see here, bada boom. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything in the chat. Come on, chat. Come on, chat. All right, let's see. Shout out to Mr. Matrix. Sorry, I missed that super chat, bro. Hopefully you're still here. He said, would you sell some ETH to buy Sol or not a good idea? Shout out to MJ Matrix. That really depends on your own personal situation, right? If you were if you were massively up on ETH or something and you wanted to take some profit and buy some Sol, that would be something you could potentially look at. But in my opinion, I think Ethereum's undervalued. I think I'll tell you this: if your thought is sell ETH because it's not performing to buy Solana because it was performing, that's a slippery slope. Every time I've ever talked to anybody, right, or done this myself, but recently I've had some people say, "Hey, should I sell?" When XRP was ripping, right? I had a lot of people saying, "Should I sell this coin? It's not doing well. Should I buy a XRP because XRP is pumping?" And I'm like, and I don't know if this is the case for you, but for them, I'm just like, no, don't sell things that didn't pump to buy into something that's already pumped. You do not want to buy as price is going up. You want to buy as price is going down. In the case of Ethereum and Solana, these are both going down. So keep that in mind. So it is a little bit of a different situation. But if your idea is like Ethereum's not performing, should I sell that and buy Solana? I personally am not selling my Ethereum to buy Solana. So that's really, I can't really tell you what to do, but that's, I hold Ethereum and Solana. I hold way more ETH than I hold Solana. I'm not selling my ETH to buy Solana. So yeah, it depends. It depends on your own specific situation matrix. So hopefully it helps you out. Shout out to Keeping It Real said, can you take a look at Trump? Let's take a look here. I mean, I will say this. If the top is in, I mean, Trump launching and I don't know if it's necessarily like a legitimate rug, but Trump launching a meme coin is like pretty top signal-y. At least a significant top signal. It doesn't mean that it's over forever. But yeah, I mean, at this point, this thing's just like in price discovery to the downside from what I can see. Not a lot I could say about this. It's a meme coin, right? Like, do I think it's a bad idea to own a little bit of Trump if things start to go crazy again? Probably not. It's probably not a bad idea. But as far as like the technicals go, I mean, this thing's just in price discovery to the downside. So we'd have to wait for some kind of structure to form before we could actually make any calls on this. But right now, I mean, this thing's going to pump when hype comes back to meme coins, to be honest, and like all coins start to rip again. From a technical perspective, I will say, like, yeah, we don't have a lot of information on the 2-day. Daily money flow is in the, no daily money flow to look at. It's really hard to make a call on this, but yeah. This thing might never go up again. I would say, owning Trump coin, in my opinion, I don't own any. I probably feel like I should. I may buy some as it goes down, just to own some in case it goes crazy again. All it takes is like one tweet or something like that for it to pump again. But yeah, you got to be careful with the meme coins, guys. Like, this thing might never go up again. Who knows? I would probably put it a little bit, more of a probability on this going up again because it's the president. But yeah, like as far as the meme coins go, like if you're not in blue chip meme coins, those meme coins are probably like not financial advice, but like a lot of the Solana meme coins and all that stuff. Unless you're looking at like the real big boys with the higher market caps that have like true community, like 99% of meme coins are never going to come back, right? So I would just be careful. I would always be careful. If you're buying meme coins, you are 100% gambling, and that's fine. But just understand that you are gambling and there's a risk to that. But yeah, I don't know. I might buy some Trump coin, to be honest with you. Also, Pengu. Pengu's another one I'm looking at. If I were, I'm not buying the dip just yet. But, Pengu is another one. I'm glad I had not bought into this just yet. But, this is glad I'm going to wind up getting this for pennies on the dollar from where I wanted it. Shout out to FC. When do you use fibs on log scale versus not? I am on log scale 100% of the time. If I'm ever on non-log, it's by accident. I am on log scale 100% of the time. Shout out to Killamidi. Killamidi. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you for the super chat. Simple answer. I am in log 100% of the time. So there you go. But yeah, Pengu, let me take a quick look at Peak real quick. Yeah, this thing got the, look, God, little retracement back down. Yikes. Still got this key level, question mark key level, 12 cents on Peak. If we can make it all the way down there, that's something I would look at. It is a fib level. But other than that, I mean, we gotta let these alts kind of chill out. I would not be expecting the alts to pump until we wind up getting some kind of total 3, right? We got to get above 931.2 billion. So there you go. Let me pull up the chat here one more time. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Danielson, said, don't buy memes, people. All trash scams. Yeah, at least, yeah. For the most part. Yo, shout out to KGP, says, morning, I just woke up. What happened? Yeah, I don't know. Tony D wanted to put Daddy Chill on the thumbnail. I almost approved it, but I try to keep it somewhat to the TA and the actual sentiment on the thumbnails. But Daddy Chill would have been a great thumbnail text. Dang it, must be bad if he's is he still going? Yeah, shout out to Beetlejuice. Yeah, it's just never gonna recover. It's never gonna recover. We're staying here until Bitcoin hits 100K. If it doesn't, then we're gonna fall asleep on stream. Maybe we leak it in premium. Shout out to Tony D. Maybe we leak it in premium. The Daddy Chill thumbnail? I mean, it just says Daddy Chill on the text. Same thumbnail. Unless Tony D made some crazy different thumbnail with different visuals. Shout out to Wick589 said, well, Frankie helped you on all your alts. Yep, it's down. Yeah, shout out to Wick589. We're going to really have to wait for these alts to kind of like, give us some kind of structure or something to make a call at. But we're at key levels, right? Solana tapping that exact key level that we looked at. And now losing it, unfortunately. We were sitting here earlier today. We lose this, mark my words, right? We lose that 786 POC, can't get back above. We are looking for a move down to 131. Can we see 131.79 down to 124.76 on Solana? I'll tell you this, if we can't reclaim that POC or 786, that's the next zone to look at. So we'll see what happens. But other than that, guys, with all that being said, I think that's all the time I have for tonight's live stream. Shout out to Raul, says, hey, brother, I have purchased your Discord, but not showing in my app. Shout out to Raul at Tony D. If you could potentially give some guidance to our boy, I'd appreciate it. Unfortunately, Raul, I am a Discord boomer, so I don't want to point you in the right direction. The wrong direction? Right direction? Is that even a word? Yeah, seems like it's been a little over time, guys. Once I start jumbling up my words, how long we've been live for here? Somebody give me a time call here. 2 hours, 2.5 hours, baby. Let's get it. We're still here. Shout out to Gordon. Let's go, baby. Let's go. But yeah, with all that being said, guys, I think that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. Let's see what happens if we lose that. Actually, real quick, I'll just do a quick recap here on Bitcoin just to show everybody. If we lose the value area low, hopefully we can hold this little SFP and get a little retracement to the upside, but I'd be careful here. If we wind up losing these, if we wind up losing this wick, 89.1 is our next big wick with a lot of liquidations below. That could cause a big dump to the downside, but other than that, next key level to the downside on Bitcoin, guys. Watching that daily at 87,347. That's the next big level. Other than that, it's going to be choppy in here. It's going to be a little sketchy. So buckle up, use good risk management, guys, and protect yourselves. But with all that being said, that's all the time I got for tonight's live stream. I am actually late, guys, and I got to run out of here, so I'm not going to have a fake out tonight. But I will see you guys same place, same time right here. Thank you all so much for tuning in. If you're new here, smash the subscribe button. We're live every single weekday at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Get into the free Discord. Watch the YouTube tutorials. All the free value on this channel. And I'll see you guys here tomorrow. Same place, same time, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Pray for Bitcoin. That's all I got. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong!
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand, like, you know, on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah, maxed out, put the